Yeah. Sometimes the loudest voices ain't the closest to the truth. Let's talk about it. Everybody got a theory, everybody got a side. Timeline getting longer while the answers try to hide. Every interview drops, everybody hit play, but another piece of the puzzle still dripped away. Pressure on the family, pressure on the town. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody looking down. Facts don't move faster just because we want them to. Truth don't change colors when the spotlight's on you. Screens full of opinions, comments full of heat, but evidence walks slower than emotions in the street. Everybody chasing justice, everybody saying wait, but assumptions build a verdict before we know the fate. Questions remain, still looking through the smoke and the pain. Everybody talking like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we're searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows. Family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true. No victory in division, no profit in the pain. Let's keep asking honest questions until the answers have a name. Questions remain, but we're still standing in the rain, searching every detail, every witness, every clue. Knowing every honest question brings us closer to the truth. The questions remain, we won't let assumptions reign until the facts come together. We'll keep the conversation real and let the evidence speak for itself. Same soil, yeah, different roots, one community, still searching for the truth. Yeah. Sometimes the loudest voices ain't the closest to the truth. Let's talk about it. Everybody got a theory, everybody got a side. Timeline getting longer while the answers try to hide. Every interview drops, everybody hit play, but another piece of the puzzle still dripped away. Pressure on the family, pressure on the town. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody looking down. Facts don't move faster just because we want them to. Truth don't change colors when the spotlight's on you. Screens full of opinions, comments full of heat, but evidence walks slower than emotions in the street. Everybody chasing justice, everybody saying wait, but assumptions build a verdict before we know the fate. Questions remain, still looking through the smoke and the pain. Everybody talking like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we're searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows. Family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true. No victory in division, no profit in the pain. Let's keep asking honest questions until the answers have a name. Questions remain, but we're still standing in the rain, searching every detail, every witness, every clue. Knowing every honest question brings us closer to the truth. The questions remain, we won't assumptions reign until the facts come together. We'll keep the conversation real and let the evidence speak for itself. Same soil, yeah, different roots. One community, still searching for the truth. Yeah. Sometimes the loudest voices ain't the closest to the truth. Let's talk about it. Everybody got a theory, everybody got a side. Timeline getting longer while the answers try to hide. Every interview drops, everybody hit play, but another piece of the puzzle still dripped away. Pressure on the family, pressure on the town. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody looking down. Facts don't move faster just because we want them to. Truth don't change colors when the spotlight's on you. Screens full of opinions, comments full of heat, but evidence walks slower than emotions in the street. Everybody chasing justice, everybody saying wait, but assumptions build a verdict before we know the fate. Questions remain, still looking through the smoke and the pain. Everybody talking like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true. No victory in division, no profit in the pain. Let's keep asking honest questions until the answers have a name. Questions remain, but we're still standing in the rain, searching every detail, every witness, every clue. Knowing every honest question brings us closer to the truth. The questions remain, we won't let assumptions reign until the facts come together. We'll keep the conversation real and let the evidence speak for itself. Same soil, yeah, different roots. One community, still searching for the truth. Like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we're searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true. No victory in division, no profit in the pain. Let's keep asking honest questions until the answers have a name. Questions remain, but we're still standing in the rain, searching every detail, every witness, every clue. Knowing every honest question brings us closer to the truth. The questions remain, we won't let assumptions reign until the facts come together. We'll keep the conversation real and let the evidence speak for itself. Same soil, yeah, different roots. One community, still searching for the truth.
Disclaimer: this broadcast is intended for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. All topics and statements are based on publicly available information, including news reports, social media content, and third-party sources, which may include allegations or unverified claims. The views expressed are opinions and should not be interpreted as confirmed facts. This content is not intended to harm, defame, misrepresent any individual, organization, or entity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Deep-rooted conversations, real talk, real roots, real us, slows. Soft rain, no middleman between the truth. I can see it in your eyes, you got it. Pain got your heart moving cautious. Different worlds but the same kind of scars here. Different roads but somehow we still crossed it. Mad cause the world never listened right. Mad cause your truth always turns.
Yeah. Sometimes the loudest voices ain't the closest to the truth. Let's talk about it. Everybody got a theory, everybody got a side. Timeline getting longer while the answers try to hide. Every interview drops, everybody hit play, but another piece of the puzzle still dripped away. Pressure on the family, pressure on the town. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody looking down. Facts don't move faster just because we want them to. Truth don't change colors when the spotlight's on you. Screens full of opinions, comments full of heat, but evidence walks slower than emotions in the street. Everybody chasing justice, everybody saying wait, but assumptions build a verdict before we know the fate. Questions remain, still looking through the smoke and the pain. Everybody talking like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows. Family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Same Soil, Different Roots. Tonight, I want to begin with a simple question. When does a question become a conclusion? Not because new evidence was discovered, not because every fact was verified, not because enough people repeated the same idea until it started to feel true. That's the world we live in today. Information travels in seconds, opinions travel even faster, and certainty often arrives long before evidence does. The Nolan Wells case has become one of those stories that challenges all of us. Every interview, every press conference, every social media post, every expert opinion adds another layer of conversation that is still unfolding. Some believe the answers are already obvious, and perhaps both perspectives deserve to be examined, not with hostility, but with honesty. Tonight isn't about proving one side right or another side wrong. It's about something much more difficult. It's about having the discipline to separate what we know, what we believe, and what we still don't know. Because justice isn't built on popularity, it isn't built on algorithms, it isn't built on who speaks the loudest. Justice is built on facts, evidence, and the willingness to follow the truth wherever it leads, even if it challenges our own assumptions. So, tonight, as we examine interviews, public statements, and the evidence that's been discussed, We ask one thing of everyone joining this town hall: come with an open mind, challenge ideas, ask difficult questions, listen just as carefully as you speak. Because if we truly searching for the truth, we should never be afraid of more evidence. Welcome to Same Soil, Different Roots. This is Town Hall number 2, and it starts right now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, man. What a beautiful, beautiful intro, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in so far on all channels, man. If you're tuning in from Facebook, please leave a comment, man. We are monetized on that side now, so we're trying to move that side of the needle as well. So we appreciate everybody supporting from all avenues. Again, welcome in everyone that's in the chat. We will have the link available after each segment. Again, this is Town Hall number 2. All we're here to do is just to show what's recently been put out, kind of have a normal dialogue about it. We're not here to say who's innocent, who's guilty, but just to kind of have the conversation. But most importantly, we want to hear you guys have the conversation. So we will drop the link for anyone who would like to come up and share what they think about it. And again, I think we said 2 minutes, right? We'll be giving 2 minutes for people to share their opinions, their thoughts. And then, of course, we'll move it on to the next person. Myself and Rain will not be here to disagree or argue. We will here let you share your thoughts. So we're going to start with our first town hall meeting. And that first one's going to start over with none other than Nancy Grace, man. Nancy Grace has came on the scene, and she has came on the scene hard. I think she's dropping something, feel like every 10 minutes.
Yes,
so we're going to actually hear her premiere that came out today about the audio that was leaked. So we're going to be talking about the leak audio, what some people heard, but she actually had some specialists come on and give their thoughts and opinions. So we'll be playing this premiere from today's premiere that Nancy Grace did on her Listen to Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. So here we go. Let's see.
Call. Is it real? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Everyone in the background is saying, "Is he dead? Nolan, wake the up."
Claiming they're sinking and calling for help. And yet in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted that anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't
All
have
right.
the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at.
You are hearing the audio distress call from the boat. That is the boat on which Nolan Wells went to Horn Island. Now, there have been a lot of different accounts about whether he was on the boat when he came back from Horn Island, when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island. He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. They released it. It's not something off TikTok or Insta. And that's what you hear. Let me hear 184 one more time, please.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right. Of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Dave Mack, Crime Stories, investigative reporter. What are we hearing?
Nancy, this is the audio call from the boat that Nolan Wells took out to Horn Island. And the boat is attempting to leave Horn Island because the boat is taking on water. What we are hearing is the call from the boat to the group they have.
Cito, let me help you. Let me help you. Reminder, Dave Mack, we've only got 1 hour to cover a lot of territory. That is the Cito call where the grandson of the boat owner thinks that they're taking on water. Joining me right now, special guest Brandon Tatum. He is a former police officer with Tucson PD, and he is the star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube. He has interviewed Nolan's friends. Now, we're about to bring on 2 experts, each one taking a different viewpoint on that call. But Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us tonight. No matter what you say, just know you're going to get hate mail. Doesn't matter what you say. If the angel Gabriel came down right now and spoke on this case, he would get hate mail. That said, what do you make of that audio, officer?
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for having me on. If you put the audio within context, it is an impossibility unless these people are prophesying that somehow they're saying Nolan's name or projecting that Nolan is somehow injured, hurt, or killed, because we have witnesses that have come out. When I interviewed Warren, a lot of those kids that I talked to already alluded to this way before the audio came out, that they were gone. And people had already saw Nolan after they had left. The young lady, Katie, that he was hanging out with, I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. We have video of the boat that we shared on our social media page, and it shows all the occupants on the boat, and Nolan was not there. And so if a person thinks that they've heard something on the audio, they have to compare it with context. Maybe they said, is it dead? Talking about items that could potentially have died or damaged on the boat, given the fact that they were sinking. So I think people need to put this in context and reevaluate what they're listening to on the video, because if you are going to make a staunch stance in the wrong direction, in my opinion, by saying they're obviously talking about Nolan, it is incredibly impossible. One more thing real quick, that when you look at where they were at when they made the phone call and their GPS coordinates, it literally put them on the island. And we know, and not on the physical island, but really close proximity to the island. And we know, because we have another video of Nolan being out there and also all the other boats surrounding him, that this would have had to happen very near to hundreds of people in hundreds of different boats. So somebody would have seen something if there was a dramatic commotion like this occurring on that boat.
I hear what you're saying, Officer Brandon Tatum. That last part that you said, that there were hundreds of people around and they would have seen what happened, that part, I disagree with that. John Mobley joining us, veteran trial lawyer out of South Carolina. John, take off your defense hat one moment and let's address that statement. Do I have to say Tupac? That just comes off the top of my head. Crimes happen all the time in a crowded area and nobody sees anything. Either they say they didn't see anything, or they really didn't see anything, because it all blends in, right? It all blends in. I've had a little boy thrown off the 3rd level of the Mall of America almost to his death. He did die and he was brought back to life. Nobody saw what happened. A guy threw him over. People were all over the mall. The food court was crowded. Nobody saw. I had like 2 witnesses. So I think part of it is, Mobley, you don't expect to see something. And so your mind is not interpreting, it's not intercepting what you're physically seeing. And again, we don't know what happened. We don't know why Nolan Wells has a red mark on the back of his occipital. We don't know. Was he hit? Did he fall? Then fall off a boat? It could have been any number of things. Some nefarious, some an accident, some negligent. My point is, just because there's a lot of people around, that does not guarantee you witnesses, Mobley. You know that better than anybody with all the cases you've tried.
So I want to stop there because this is a question you had, Rain, for about 5 weeks.
Now that she puts it into that perspective, and she's showing, that in other cases, 1 million people can be around and somebody can't, won't actually see what happened. Although, with that being said, with the Nolan Wells situation, I do believe that somebody somewhere knows what happened to him. I still believe that, even though she gave these situations with the young baby being thrown off the balcony and the other situation, I still believe somebody knows. It's still there, that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan.
I can see that. I mean, even she said, even though nobody's seen it, 2 people did see it
Yeah.
for the Mall of America. So, but I just wanted to stop it there because Rain has had that question for about 4 to 5 weeks, and I thought it was very interesting that she even brought up those scenarios today.
Mhm.
Well, Nancy, I got to call it like I see it. I think there are 2 things I want to say to address that. The first part, I would agree with you that yes, a lot of people can be around and they can notice something, and something can happen rather, and people not see it. However, I think the way that the human mind works, we would all agree, is we perceive things all the time. Okay, and we may perceive something that at the time we perceive it, it is not deemed significant. However, in this case, I do believe that if someone did see something that they didn't pay particular attention to involving Nolan Wells, once all of this has come out, the way the mind works is it'll trigger what they saw before, because now it becomes significant. Okay, so I do agree that people can perceive things and not pay attention to them, but when something significant happens later, sort of like being robbed, you're not paying attention to what everybody's wearing, but if that when somebody robs you and later on you have to recall what that person was wearing, what they looked like, you can recall it because it's important at that point. But at the time they perceived it, it was not important. So that's what I want to make sure I discuss. And I do want to address, you talk about the red mark on the back of his head. I mean, I think that is a red herring. That's something that everybody kind of latched onto because they're so desperate for any information that might be related to the cause of his death. But even the own pathologist that conducted the autopsy did not
him up. Mobley, are you a medical doctor? Yes, no.
I know how to examine forensic evidence based on the countless homicides that I've tried.
Not hearing, yes, no. You're not a medical doctor.
I'm a jurist doctor.
Are you a medical examiner?
I am not.
No. Put up the back diagram, the back of the head of Nolan Wells from the second autopsy right now. You know what? I give it to you, Mobley. You're a great trial lawyer. A medical examiner, you ain't. And I don't know why you're saying people are latching onto this, grabbing at straws. I'm looking right at it, man. Should I believe you or my lying eyes? I am looking at the second autopsy. And I have questioned multiple actual medical examiners, actual doctors that say that means something. Put him up again. In what world would the first medical examiner remove Nolan's throat if it did not have something probative about it, something that proves something? Did they remove his toe? No. His elbow? No. His eyeball? His nose? No. They took his throat. Do not tell me that a medical doctor, which you are not, took a throat out of this young man because it means nothing. And that, you know what? I can't even hear you. Straight out to Joe Scott Morgan joining us, professor of forensics, death investigator. That second doctor did not highlight that in red for nothing. That doctor is not grabbing at straws, as Mobley said. I don't know why he's saying that.
No, you're right. He has purpose. We have purpose in everything that we do in the medical legal world. And so when you see this highlighted area, it's unique in the way he has diagrammed it here. He even demonstrates that it has almost like margins to it. And, that's what has left a big question for us, because it's not like it's diffuse all over the place where you've got these kind of spotty alignments. He's got a margin. It almost looks like a rectangle, doesn't it? Well, when we begin to see things like that, we think about patterns. And that's some of the questions that have yet to be answered. But what he does say in his relative to the second examination is that he did a multi-layered dissection. Now, this area had not been dissected by the ME's office in Mississippi. So what he's doing is he's going layer by layer. We're talking about the skin. We're talking about the subcu fat. We're talking about the musculature that's under there. And yes, there is musculature under there. And what his conclusion is, Nancy, is that there's significant decomposition at this point in time. So he cannot make a determination about these markings one way or another. He needs more information. And admittedly, in the second autopsy, he says this is pending investigation. And that's key here.
Okay. Joe Scott Morgan.
Yes.
He, the first medical examiner, removed the throat.
Yes.
No other part of the body, except for the lungs, removed the throat and the lungs. We know why he took the lungs. I don't have to be a death investigator like yourself with 10,000 death investigations under my belt to know why he took the lungs, to see if no one drowned. But the fact that someone has lungs full of water does not tell me how they got in the water. Did he fall? Was he hit? Was he held under? Was it an accident? Did you see that video? Pull it up if you can, control room, of all those ships, all those boats out there. If he was between one of those boats, lost his footing, went under, got the riptide, no one may have noticed. All right. No one may have noticed. Look at all that. And there were apparently 300 or so people out there. This is just a tiny microcosm. It's July the 4th. Everybody's at Horn Island having a good time. So it could be any number of ways he landed under the water. But my point is, that's why they took the lungs. Why? The throat.
Well, because the throat and the throat areas you're referring to it as, it's actually the organs of the neck. We're talking about the larynx, the pharynx, our windpipe, essentially, and everything else that's connected therein. That's the conveyance to get into the lung. So one of the things, what they're looking at here, Nancy, to put it very bluntly, is they're looking for any possibility that his breathing could have been compromised. Well, how is that compromised? Well, when you begin to think about, if you put your hand in the midline of your throat, right here, okay, you begin to think about the trachea, which is encompassed right here. Was it compromised in any way? Are there any focal areas of hemorrhage? Has it been crushed? You would go up into the neck. I suspect that the tongue was probably removed as well. You're going to look at the hyoid, which did not accompany the body. But all of this has been retained. There's nothing abnormal about the state retaining the organs of the neck. This happens very, very frequently in cases like this because they want to be able to go back and examine it. And also for the future.
How do you feel about that though, Ray? Because I think they almost are double talking to us, right? Because they make certain things seem so obvious, but then they'll keep saying it's not abnormal. But you're putting so much context and so much reference on it, so it is important. So to me, it sounds like it might have been normal, but it shouldn't have been normal in this situation.
Right.
You see what I mean? Like, it's almost like confusing because I'm listening to doctors and specialists say, hey, these are very important areas. This is something you need to like gain evidence of what happened or how this person possibly drowned or if whatever the alleged allegations are. But then it's like you'll then say it's not abnormal. It's like you're saying one thing, but then you're giving them another thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of fingers in a cookie jar trying to, get a cookie out and taste it. And in doing so, everybody's giving their own opinions on how they, how they interpreting this whole situation. Like, with the second medical examiner not receiving those critical items and the state not releasing them. But then we understand why the state hasn't released them yet. The findings are not complete. So and then we have all these other people dipping in, giving their opinions or their expert opinion. Yeah, their expert opinions. That's what it is. And it seems like everything, there's no like endpoint anywhere. There's no final button somewhere. Like this is it. This is what we saw. These are the tests that happened because everything is still pending. Everything is still under investigation. So until Mississippi gives, I don't know if Mississippi has handed over their findings to the DA yet.
Yeah, but now to answer you and Penny said, did we ever find the tongue and throat? We won't know now because everything's going to a grand jury. So now we won't nothing else will be released. It doesn't matter what side of the house it's coming from now. We won't hear anything else. Like now we are kind of moving on speculations, the little bit of information we're getting. Yeah, so with them doing the grand jury, and we already heard the Mississippi DA last week at the town hall we did, right? They're not talking about nothing else. Like you won't get anything else from the state of Mississippi. So at this point, even if they found the tongue and throat, Penny, we won't know. We won't know until everything comes out.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that I know Nolan's family, his mother and his parents especially, want answers as quickly as possible. I know it's unsettling for them. I know Miss Christine, she said 27 days today it's been, and there's no final answer. And I understand it takes weeks for toxicology reports to come back and findings to come back on different tests and everything. But still, with that being said, with today's technology, it seemed like it should be moving at a faster rate, especially with a high profile case like this. Well, they made it high profile now because the world is seeing it unfold every day. So it to me it seems like a match should have been lit up under somebody's feet, and like, let's get a move on this. Let's make this top priority. Let's get this over and done with. So one, the family can have answers, and two, we can move forward where we need to move forward. But it seems I still think Mississippi and their investigations, the sheriff's office, is what they're dragging their feet for some reason. And I'm not for certain the reason, but they're dragging their feet. I can only
He said,
assume.
"What's the tongue and throat missing in the first?" We don't know because they haven't released that first one.
Mhm.
Like so, yeah, Penny. That's the crazy part. Like we don't know because we won't know anything that Mississippi did until we get to the grand jury, to everything. I mean, the trial comes out. So
Yeah.
he said
People have been arrested for way less. Absolutely classic. Mhm. He said complexion for protection. Tom said, I hate to say this, but if I was a Caucasian boy that was in Nolan Wells' situation, it would have probably went a little different because the police would have took more investigation.
Telling you.
Classic said that's the reason. Miles said somebody paid a lot of cash to hide body parts.
Yeah, yeah. So our goal and our intentions for me and Rain on these town halls is to continue to just bring more and more additional information that you guys probably already hear about throughout the week, but just try to break down some of the people who are covering certain areas just so that you guys can give your opinion. But this town hall is actually for you guys. So if you guys ever want to come up, like we said, you do have 2 minutes to come up and say your piece. Like I said, we want to hear what your thoughts, your concerns, even if it's something positive, prayers to the Nolan Wells family, things of that nature. That's what these town halls are for. So, yeah, she said, how do we get to trial without arrest? Mario, I covered this on one of my platforms about what the grand jury role is, and I'll cover it again tonight just so you can understand how they're going to get there. Because the grand jury, Mario, is going to be who decides if there's enough evidence for this to go to trial. Like right now, we're moving on evidence. Kind of goes back to what Classic said, right? Like the complexion for the protection now, they're being covered, right? They're being covered by Mississippi. So now they're trying to get enough evidence. Like if we can't find out, if nobody's gonna rat or snitch, we now got to get enough evidence to take this to a trial. So that's how they'll do it without a first arrest. He said no, it has been charged. He said no, not yet, Penny, not yet. So so we're gonna play. I'm gonna move this over to because I want y'all to start hearing.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, do you think?
I just want to give my personal take on the phone call that was released by the Mississippi Department. Yeah, that the phone call. Everybody has interpreted, or the ones that I've run across, the interpretations that I've run across, the reviewings that I've run across, the audio separations, whatever y'all do on the audio end, the audio people that are professionals on that end.
Vicky speaking.
The ones that I've come across, at the end, they hear say, Nolan, wake the F up. Or wake the F up. They're a lot of people are interpreting it as wake the F up. I personally hear shut the F up. And the reason why I'm coming to that conclusion myself, and everybody has their own opinion on it, is that they are in a loud environment. There are tons of people out there. He's trying, and I'm not covering for anybody. I'm letting y'all know I'm not taking sides.
Girl, speak your mind.
This, but I'm saying what I hear in this phone call is shut the F up at the end, because in my reason for that is because they're in this loud environment. They have music playing. There's hundreds of people out there. They're around all these boats, and it's loud. I'm not negating the rest of the phone call that came in beforehand about, oh my God, no one don't die, etc. But that little tidbit at the end saying, wake the F up, I'm interpreting it. My own personal opinion is shut the F up. So I just wanted to say that part.
Okay, and
Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this one. It's gonna break
okay,
it down. I'm gonna plug my charger in. Give me 1 second.
okay. I
How
got
can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles?
What'd you
Hello?
say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's going up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't
All
have the
right,
tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at
All right, and is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right, do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
We're bringing in our forensics experts, but back to Brandon Tatum, former police officer, Tucson PD. He is the star of the Officer Tatum on YouTube. He has interviewed Nolan's friends. Okay, you're saying that I am looking at, and others are looking at this out of context. My mind is open. You may be right. And I believe, Officer Tatum, you are specifically referring to the words. Let's see the transcript of the audio as I read this, please. You're referring to alleged statements. Sure, he's dead. Is he dead? Nolan. OMG. Nolan, don't die. Then wake the F up. I thought he was on the check his chest. Now, to you, Officer Tatum, you believe that there is an innocent explanation. My mind is open. And that innocent explanation would be what?
Well, I think that if you are convinced without context that they are talking about Nolan, you're going to hear certain things and perceive it. I mean, the bilge pump is damaged. They could have been saying don't die or is it dead, referring to the bilge pump or the bilge pump. And they could have been talking about a battery. They could have been saying no, and people think they said Nolan. The only reason that I deviate from the transcript is because there are witnesses that have said they've seen Nolan after the boys had already left and after the call was already made. And also, I put my detective mind on when I look at the reasoning, but why would they be calling and giving GPS coordinates and talking to this dispatch for 8 minutes if their best friend, whom I've spoke to these boys, they've showed me pictures, they were emotional about Nolan's death. I was there during the funeral, at least there with them when the funeral was going on, and they were devastated that they couldn't go to his funeral. I perceive that it doesn't make sense if they had killed their friend in a malicious way or he was dead, that they wouldn't just simply ask for help instead of trying to cover it up and calling for a tow and talking for 8 minutes. I mean, all of those things, plus the witnesses, it just doesn't add up. And I just wish people be open-minded to saying, let me rewatch it and let me put it within context that Nolan cannot be on the boat because witnesses seen him afterwards. And let me re-listen to it and try to put it in perspective.
So you're saying witnesses saw him afterwards, after that call? Or did you mean to say witnesses saw him elsewhere?
Yeah, no, witnesses saw him on the island after the call. After the boys had left around 4:30, witnesses have seen Nolan alive on the island after that. So, you know, that puts Nolan alive after that. And I think that people should be focused on, okay, now let's interview and talk to people and consider what did they see? Because we're already past the point of Warren and Wyatt's boat and all of those things being involved.
Officer Tatum, I had so many trial judges from all the cases I tried in different courtrooms, but one particular judge, my favorite, Luther Alverson, he had a particular jury charge. And I've heard it so many times, I've memorized it. He said to the jury at the end of the case, after the closings, it is your duty to make all witnesses speak the truth and impugn perjury on no one. So what I'm trying to do is reconcile what you're saying with what I'm hearing. I hope Nolan Wells died by accident.
And this is what I wanted. This is why I wanted to cover this, because I hear what everybody is saying. But Nancy Grace is really saying the same thing that even me and Rain are sitting here and saying, right? She's still not giving y'all definitive answers, even though she might be more excited or more dramatic. Like, she still, if you watch every video she does ask people questions depending on what they said, it's kind of like she's almost an antagonist to the person that's up there. But at the end of the day, she continues to say the same thing, that it's not enough evidence. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's why we wanted to do the town hall. I don't think somebody's missing the point or people don't understand. I just think everybody thinks differently and it's okay. But at the same time, I think Classy did bring up a good point. It's almost like we leave it out that something negative could have happened to Nolan. It's almost like we passed that part and we just want to say he drowned. Like, no, it could have been someone could have hit him in the back of the head. Somebody could have pushed him off the boat. It don't even matter if it was accidental. It still could have happened. So I think that's the big and overarching question. Like he said, I think a lot of people are pretty much trying to take foul play out of it when there could still be a high percentage of foul play. You know what I mean? So.
But I'm not shutting down our crime stories investigation until I know. Now, I want to address this sound. To Joe Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon. At Jacksonville State University, they have a world-class CrimPro lab and setup. In fact, I've called on Morgan many times to help me recreate crimes in their labs. Star of Body Bags with Joe Scott Morgan. Joe Scott, you've been on so many death scenes, trying desperately to get to my experts, but I got to lay the foundation, as I would do in court, before I bring in a piece of evidence. Joe Scott, people do crazy things when somebody dies. They panic. They think it's their fault, whether it is or it isn't. They get rid of the body. They lie. They do all sorts of things. The cover-up is very often worse than what the initial incident was. People panic. So the reaction of the friends to Nolan potentially having passed, that reaction doesn't mean that much to me, because you don't know what somebody's going to do under those circumstances.
See, she eventually starts talking just like most of people are speaking. But I know Rain talked about this as well, about just why wouldn't nobody come out when we were talking about this behind the scenes. And I told her, I said, at this point, people are so afraid. Like, the person who did it is just now so afraid. If allegedly, if somebody did it, you're going to see more people just afraid to speak up. I mean, you got ignorant people doing death threats to the mom of the victim. I mean, just think about that. Like, the victim mom is getting threats. Just imagine the person that now needs to come out who might allegedly have done it. Like, the fear is so high that now it's going to you're going to see this rabbit race for a long time. You know what I mean? You're going to see this rabbit race for a long, long time. So it's just tough, man. It's tough.
So hearing them on the boat, I hear what Tatum is saying, and it's reasonable. But how people act in that scenario is not always reasonable.
No, it's not, particularly when they're faced with somebody that's in distress and they are under the influence of alcohol. And that's going to play a huge role in this from an investigative standpoint. And not to mention probably a group of people that don't have a lot of experience with alcohol. We're talking about a group of underage kids. We're not talking about upper end college kids here. We're talking about kids that are 18 years old. They've been getting hammered out there on this.
And see, this, I told Rain, this the part that makes me angry.
Yeah.
This the part that makes me really angry. Like, it's like, bruh, this happens every day.
Every day, all day.
This happens every day, dog. This happens every day. Black boys, white boys on the beach drinking beer. Like, this stuff happens every day. Like, that's the part that frustrates me, is like, okay, we can wait on toxicology reports and all that, but that happens every day. That happens every day. Like, this happens every summer. Every frat boy house. Like, this stuff happens every day in normal day-to-day life. My thing is, why aren't we getting to the nicks and crumbs? Like, does the evidence we currently see show foul play? That's what we got to get to. Like, everybody out there was drinking. I mean, I don't know why we arguing about drinking. Everybody out there was drinking. Warren admitted that he's underage drink. Like, everybody was drinking. Everybody was drinking. So, like, at this point, like, when are we just going to get to, like, what people really need to know? Was there any foul play? Did anybody do it? And let's be able to move forward from there. Like, this drinking and this toxic out that's almost like trying to just damage the character of somebody who's no longer here at this
And
point.
it is not
Like
needed.
it's not needed. Like they all were drinking.
They all,
Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? So it's stupid, man.
This island, and that's a problem, Nancy.
Well, you're right. Okay. Two, not that Tatum in his own right is not an expert. He's a former police officer with Tucson. Joe Scott, an expert, Mobley, an expert. But now let's go to our digital experts. First, Todd Shipley joining us, digital cybercrime expert, former Detective Sergeant, Reno PD, 25 years in law enforcement, author of Surviving a Cyber Attack, Securing Social Media, Protecting Your Home, author of Investigating Internet Crimes, an intro to solving crimes in cyberspace. He says nothing he hears on this audio shows that the audio has been altered. Okay, Shipley, hit it.
Well, we have to look at the fact that the audio that we received is, again, one of those that was released by the press and is probably been stepped on multiple times. Just like we had last year with another famous
Did you
video
say that was released by the press? Hold on, Tom. That was not released by the press.
It was
released to the press, but it was released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. That was not released by the media.
Yes, Nancy, but TMZ in every station that's released it has put a copy that they've edited up onto online. And so we have this expectation bias that's there. So the audio obviously is real. It's been released, and the agency that released it said that it's a video or audio of the incident, but every version that we've seen has been stepped on multiple times. And so there's an expectation bias when you start putting up audio translations that you believe is there, and everybody then has this confirmation of that this is what's said. Now, we have to go back to the original audio from the government agency to get the information that we need to prove what's there in the audio, because multiple pieces released through press stations online don't always have the exact audio we want. There's already been speculation that some of the different audio, like TMZ's and the others, are a little bit edited, and they always are, because you put them on there for a specific purpose. And adding the edited versions of what you think are the audio does not necessarily mean that that's what it is. We can look at the audio and find out what's there, but we've got to look at the original version.
Hi, guys. American Home.
So we're going to stop there with Nancy Grace. She's been covering this very heavy on her channel, just kind of bringing people along. I like that she does go directly to the sources and bring them up. I think it gives just another point of view. It gives us something to think about. I think a lot of people are on the same page with how they feel about the situation. But now I think it's just getting more to the down to the the meat of the whole thing, like what's going to happen. So again, guys, this is a town hall, so anybody who's new that would like to come up, you are welcome to come up. We can pin the link in the chat for you. With that being said, do you have anything else on that topic, Rain, when it comes to Nancy Grace and the leak audio?
I can't remember who the gentleman was at the end, but my thing is, why would the media alter? I mean, they probably alter it enough to put it in their news reports. But if somebody like Nancy is getting it straight from the source, then it wouldn't be altered. I wouldn't think she would put it altered. In good faith, I don't think she or in her organization will put an altered audio out there for the masses to continuously duplicate. This day and time, we are at a point where, like we said in the intro, everything is so fast and at your fingertips. People can clip and edit stuff up so quickly and then disperse it to the masses, and it gets to one person and then it's gonna get to a million people. So until that source gets it from that, until that person gets it from the source, the horse's mouth, then we can't really, depend on the authentic, say that word, of it.
Authenticity.
Yeah, there you go. So you got it that time, so I appreciate it.
Mary, go ahead, read it. Go ahead.
Mariel said, I'm so confused on why they keep the throat. That makes it even more suspicious. Yeah. I think they sent it to a separate lab, didn't they, to analyze what was going on with that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can really clearly say now, though, with the history of Mississippi, with everything that has gone on in Mississippi, Mississippi played the role Mississippi plays.
Of course.
Mississippi did everything that would confuse us, but if you really seeing it, it's what they normally do. Like, this is what they do. Because we're going to actually talk about it in this next clip with D.L. Hughley. I mean, he does point out of a lot of things that have happened in the state of Mississippi, right, that could cause people to already think that there's foul play regardless, right, with the trauma, with everything that happened in the past. Everybody, certain people or most of us could feel a certain way about how things are moving forward. But to answer Mario's question, the confusion was built on purpose. Mississippi knew this was going to happen. They knew building the confusion and letting the world try to sort it out with whatever they're going to hand you. They knew that was the play. So now it's all about trying to get to the trial and see how things pan out. So he said Officer Tatum a clown. So here, what is it? Welcome in, Angel you need in your life. Is Brandy more pretty than Aaliyah? Nah. But good question. Good question. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. So we're gonna move on to our town hall meeting number 2 topic. We're gonna go over to D.L. Hughley, talking about the Nolan Wells situation. Even though I don't always agree with D.L. Hughley, the cast of people that he has with him bring up very diverse conversations. And I like when people allow people to have conversations and not judge. They just have conversations. So this is actually a pretty good video from D.L. Hughley and his team. So here we go.
What would be your where are you from originally? Don't
Who,
say
me?
I mean, before you came to here. I mean,
my
not
bad.
the answer you give to immigration, the answer you tell us. From Nashville. I didn't know they had huts in Nashville.
That's not
It's
terrible.
crazy. So of
Welcome
course,
in,
Nolan Wells
Loretta.
still continues to be a hot
Welcome in, Loretta, from the Facebook side. Appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you.
topic. And for everybody that asked me why we still talking about Nolan Wells, one man's Nolan Wells is another man's, Amanda. What was the young Natalie Holloway?
Natalie Holloway.
One man's Nolan Wells is another man's Natalie Holloway. Remember, we knew all about Joran Vandersloot, and we knew all about Aruba, and we knew all was happening. Do you think that Nolan Wells was murdered?
I do.
You do?
100%.
I think that Mississippi's going to be Mississippi. I think that black people are right to question all of the circumstances that have arisen. You have a young man, and almost everything we know about this case, we know because black people wouldn't let it go. Like his mother and her sister or her somebody closely associated with her found his phone. A young woman, cleaned the audio up so we could hear other things. And so everything we know, but Mississippi is being exactly what Mississippi has always been, and they are dubious and dismissive in terms of black lives. They don't have. You have just as recently as 2024, there were 215 black men who were found in the pauper's grave behind a local sheriff department. 215. All that was missing was a metal. All that was there to signify that there was a metal plate. It only came to light because a mother was looking for one of her, looking for a child, and they happened to find it there. Nobody said 215 people. That's a lot of people. You have Medgar Evers. It took 31 years and 3 trials to finally get a justice for him. You had not even 4 weeks ago, a 1-year-old boy was shot by a police officer who has, it's been said that he's had racist connections. We don't hear anything about that. Mississippi has been actively participating in poisoning the water of it, or not even poisoning, allowing the citizens of Jackson to be poisoned with the water supply. The very same thing that existed in the 60s exists now. So they have a dubious history when it comes to the value of black lives. I remember I was playing a gig in Jackson. I stayed at a brand new Westin. It was a brand new Westin they had built in Jackson. It was right across from the jail. And I have a 135-pound Akita. He would travel with me all the time. As soon as we get to the hotel, I get him water. This dude starts shitting everywhere an hour later. I go to the vet, and he said, did he drink the water? Because every few months, the water is so bad that Jackson have a boil advisory. And they know what's happening. They've taken all of their political power away. So why would I believe you? The only reason we know anything is because Black people haven't let it go.
I think it's also worth mentioning when you're talking about things that happened dubiously in Mississippi in 2022. Remember Demontario Gibson,
yes,
the FedEx truck driver,
right,
where a father and son shot him.
So this is a good conversation I wanted to have too, right? Because without Nolan Wells, not saying everybody, but most people wouldn't even be talking about these cases. We're going to talk about it in one of our last topics, even the thing they did today with all the parents, right? With the Nolan Wells family, with the young gentleman from our city in Dallas, Fort Worth, who was also drowned and his friends left him. None of this would have been talked about without Nolan Wells. And I think that's always the bigger conversation I try to put forward is like, okay, how do we bring the light to everything like we're bringing the light to every other situations? I know everything's not going to be, you can't pick every crime, right? We'll be on here every day for every second of the day. I understand that, but it's almost like we can easily recall things that have happened. But it's like, okay, but why weren't we given this information or talked about this? Why wasn't that pushed in front of our faces so that we then could support this family that she's currently talking about that this happened with in 2022 during a pandemic that we know was a lie now, which we'll talk about that next week. But with all that, you know, like those are my questions. I know there might be a big axe, right? It might be something that I know it's impossible to see everything, but it's almost like I think we need to really start covering, even if it's a piece of things, just putting the case out there. I think it's going to be very important that we start doing that because, again, I always tell everybody, we the creators are the voice of media now. Like, so regardless how big or how small or how minute, even if it's 100 people that watch it, that's 100 different people who now took in information that they probably wasn't going to take in from anywhere else. So we just got to do our due diligence to try to do our best to like cover some of those things. That's my biggest thing. Is how do we do this? How do we pick? He said it's a fair. Yeah, like that's my biggest thing. That's what I always been trying to push. It's like I get it, right? Like I get that right now. And then like I just have a lot of mixed emotions, bro. Like even watching the thing today, why I feel like we kind of taken away from Nolan Wells.
Because the other two was
because now we're adding the other two kids in there. To me, that's taken away from Nolan Wells. Like that's my opinion. That's just me thinking out loud. Everybody can push back or feel a certain way, but it's almost like, okay, now you're bringing up this kid that happened in Dallas. You're bringing up this other person that was found behind a store. Like it's like, okay, but why didn't we have this type of momentum for those people? Like how do we?
If it doesn't get spread from the local news is across the nation, however this got momentum, each of those cases have to get that same momentum for whatever reason, you know. So what it's up to the locals who feel some type of way to push it forward, to get the news stories out there. And like Classic said too, you know, there's so much going on. We will be covering it forever, you know. And I will say that even July has been so heavy in my spirit because of this, because I'm a mother as well. So July has been so heavy. So sometimes we got to step away from this, you know, in order to, you know, pull our spirits back up. But then you still want that justice for these parents so they can put it to rest as well, or they can have that closure as well, you know. So it's up to the locals, though, I would say, in order to push those stories out there to the masses. I've been reading, you know, stories across or trying to read stories across the nation. You know, sometimes I get, well, you've seen it on the radar. I get bogged down in Florida, or I'll get bogged down in Texas, or I'll get bogged down in Chicago area. You know, so it's I think it's more so up to the locals to start pushing those things out there.
Yeah.
And it's so much stuff going on that everything can't come to the light, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I do agree with Classic on this one. Like they did do a good job. Like, cause like you once you get invested in it, and I think, and I'm gonna say this right here, I think for anybody now, man, once we find out things and things start moving forward, I would encourage people to start doing more of your local news, more of things that affect you in your community, and talking about that more on your different platforms, because then I think we can at least get small pods of groups of people. If you got 1,000 people watching what happened in Shreveport, Louisiana about this young black man or young black girl or whoever it may be, something happened to them, I think we can at least push that out to the thousands of people who are going to view it, right? So that's going to be my goal moving forward. Is like, if I hear about something, I'm going to at least speak on it, at least try to bring it to the forefront, regardless if media thinks it's a big deal. Because like kind of like what Class said, I think that's what they wanted to do, right? They wanted us to kind of start picking and choosing. And it almost goes back to that slogan back in the day, when they were talking about, how everybody started arguing about all lives matters when they started the Black Lives Matters thing. It's almost like they made you start choosing at that point, instead of saying, you know what, a tragedy is a tragedy, period. And we got to cover it. Like, I don't care if it's little John from Tupelo, Mississippi, like John passed away. I need to be talking about John, even if it's that one episode that week that we talk about him. So I would highly encourage you guys to really start looking at your local news, your local pressers, and really start putting the news out, man, if that's what you're passionate about. So.
Yeah.
Killed him, and were both acquitted.
And then the two FedEx driver, well, actually they shot at him, and the judge suspended the case with prejudice, or dismissed the case with prejudice, and they got that right with prejudice. We are right to be dismissive or to be suspicious of people who've shown us who they are. Mississippi going Mississippi. There's nothing inconsistent about what we know Mississippi to be. I'm not saying that everything that happens there is this way, but they're not. The governor of Mississippi comes out and calls, basically says that Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are stirring up racial strife. No, that ain't gonna happen. If it weren't for them and people bringing, I can understand, and I don't know what happened, but I do know that a young man is dead, and the fact that his mother, who only wants to see justice for her child, is getting doxxed, like her job is getting bad reviews, her personal business getting bad reviews, and getting death threats. Right. Ain't nothing more Mississippi than threatening black people for nothing. I don't understand. We don't trust you because you've proven to be untrustworthy. Your governor has never said anything, and when he does say something about what's going on in Mississippi, the first thing he really talks about, if any significant, to any significant degree, is to malign Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. It sounds like outside agitators, right? Sound like what they used to say before. Right. It's interesting that Brandon Tatum is welcome in Mississippi when Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are not, for the exact same reason that Stephen A. Smith is welcome at ESPN and Ryan Clark are not. Is not. Anybody who says or asks questions, you talking about a state that got mad because niggas tried to read.
He said it could be.
And now the new extrapolation of that, the new extension of that is people having internet. So what is it? Why would I trust you? I don't know what happened, but I do know this. Maybe the hang up for me is that they keep bantering, throwing around this word friends. We were his friends. We were his best friends. Who was it? This young man this young man right here.
If Nolan can
That's the problem for me too, the friends.
No doubt.
They keep throwing around the word friend.
Nolan would be livid is an understatement. Nolan would never want anything pursued this way at all. I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation. I think he generally would. I don't think he wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it.
Best friends? Like I was told the story on the radio earlier this week. I had a best friend, a good friend of mine named Kevin. And Kevin and I were best friends. We would get into it all the time. 16 years old, he had a great job, moved in with this girl. The girl had a kid by somebody else. There was always friction. One day Kevin asked me to get his back with him, and normally I would, but this time I got so mad at him and told her to leave the girl alone. We had a fight, an argument ensued. I'm like, fuck you, go. And Kevin got killed. And I was so hurt by that. And a lot of people in the neighborhood, I remember, and I told the story on the radio, a dude named Roger said, you let that boy to drown by himself. My mother didn't want me to go to the funeral because she thought that the people they were so mad at me. People just thought they were going to harm me. He was my friend. And I had to say, because if that's your friend, that's the last time you're ever going to see him again, ever. Ever. But these young people throw friend around. When you are grown and you understand what the value of a friend, you understand if you have 5 good friends, you have been blessed. And I had to go say goodbye. The fact that you weren't compelled to say goodbye to somebody, the fact that you didn't have any grief or lament, the fact that you couldn't even access and try to ascertain what part you could have played in it, lets me know I'm not saying they're guilty, but wasn't one fucking friend in the bunch. Not one of them a friend. They can say acquaintances. They can say I was cool with. They can say teammates. You can't tell me a friend. You can't call yourself a friend. You know, now it's such a cliche word. You did BFF, my best friend for life, and this is, and they even connect the names, Bennifer, and all that kind of. When you got a friend, it ain't shit you won't do for them. True. I'm talking about a friend, and not one of them have done anything. I think the problem we're having is that Mississippi is Mississippian, and they're mismonitoring friends. None of them have acted friendly. None of them have done the things that we associate with friendship.
Right. They held on to the phone.
Right.
I think they're being advised or just told you can't be there, except when Officer Tatum comes through. They've been welcomed to an interview.
I would say this. When you hear, they have a scrubbed audio, right? So this is a scrubbed audio.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're
I'm gonna start it back, y'all. Rain trying to really hear it, so I'm gonna
I
start
was closing my eyes so
Yeah,
I
I got you. I'm gonna start it back. I'm gonna actually slow it down. I'm gonna slow it down to normal speed so you can like really, really hear it.
Okay.
Scrubbed audio, right? So this is a scrubbed audio.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
They're threatening the woman who scrubbed the audio. Why is it that black women and black men are the ones who are moving this case forward? Why is it that it was his mother?
What you think? What you think you heard there?
But I think I heard that time with my eyes closed and I reading the transcript.
Yeah.
I think I heard the battery's about to die or we're all about to die. Because if they're saying the boat is sinking, you would think that you're about to die. But I mean, I would hope that most of them know how to swim out there. If you're on a boat or enough to save themselves. I still heard shut the F up. I didn't hear wake the F up. I heard shut the F up. I don't think I heard Nolan's name that time. And it might have been a different area of the audio. They might have even said he's about to die. I have no idea. I'm not certain.
Do anybody know how many women they said was with them? Because I know people kept focusing on Kate, but I heard a lot of females back there.
Yeah, but see, at that time, weren't they all like surrounded by other boats and whatnot at the time that they were supposedly singing before they left the island or about to leave the island?
Oh, see that he said that word too. Yeah, okay. I heard more female voices. Like I heard like I heard multiple female voices, and like I know we only been talking about Kate, but I wonder who that other female is.
But Kate didn't ride with him, did she? Did she ride with another boat?
He said according to the image, huh?
Didn't Katie ride with another boat?
It don't really matter about what boat they rode in because that was just what the boat they left on. You see what I mean?
Okay,
that doesn't mean that they all couldn't have been on the same boat before they started taking on water.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like I'm trying to see like the full picture. Like just because they say they left a certain way doesn't mean that's how they were before the boat started sinking.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very unique because I got to go find this white guy. It was a white guy 2 days after this event. He was the first person to truly talk about the boat was taking on water. And nobody was talking about that at first. Because remember, we first found they first tried to tell us that nobody was called, there was no tow. Like we got all that first. We got all the
Yeah.
first lies. But it was a white dude that, I got to find his stuff because I wonder what else he's been covering, because he was the first one to say, nah, they were taking on water. But I wonder what the rest of his story would be today. I got to go find him on social media, because it was like day 2 in, and he was the first person I heard talk about it. It was actually somebody, I want to say Plug sent it over to me. Mary said, if the boat was sinking, why did they tell the dispatcher they were no longer needed? Another good question. Kate was on a different boat. Remember, he allegedly stayed on the island with her. Yeah, but do we know if they stayed on a boat or you see what I mean? Like they all could have been out there around each other too. You know what I mean? Because when tragedy happens, everybody tries to jump in, right? So we don't know if hypothetically he was passing away on that boat and everybody jumping over trying to save, and now he's making a phone call. Like we really don't know. Like I'm trying not to put too much weight on who was on what boat, because in the midst of all this tragedy, people could have been all together in that one area. But I heard multiple women in that video for sure.
Yeah.
Like for sure. So yeah. So man, yeah. So DL Hughley and his team covered this. They was talking in they talked more matter of factly. DL Hughley did have some subjectivity with his question, like with his opinion. He was giving more of the history and why you could feel the way you feel about Mississippi. But the questions he was asking now, they were just pretty much like point blank calling it out in their opinion. So I'm gonna move on to this part because he starts to talk about, because you know him and Officer Tatum actually had their back and forth.
Okay.
He said they rode around on that broken boat for a while. That is what the GPS said too. It was moving a lot for it to be a boat that was drowning or sinking.
Father.
But they supposedly fixed the bilge pump, no? I'm sorry. They supposedly fixed it though. They got it going again, supposedly, allegedly. I'm like, that must have been
But I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. The boat sinking, none of that really don't matter. like when you think about what we're trying to get to,
yeah,
I don't care if they was on a canoe. Like, what happened to Nolan? That's really
the question.
That's the question. Like, what happened to Nolan? I don't care if the boat was sinking. Like I don't care about none of that. I want to know what happened to Nolan, because the boat stuff don't matter no more. That's just another distraction.
That's all.
That's another distraction. He said, "Come on, Rain."
Yeah, we know. We know, class.
Why can't that Brandon? I'm not gonna call myself Officer Tatum because it's sucker shit to call yourself the job you used to have. It is. If we were together and we ain't no more, I'm your ex, right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm your ex.
Not with him. He's still your boyfriend.
That's how you know. When you're a black man, they make you hold the shit you used to be, so it holds weight now. It holds weight now. I'm not knocking this dude. He looks like the kind of man that would have to marry a white woman. He does. He does. He looks like anytime a man called himself what he used to be, he was a football player and failed at that. Then he found his way into police work, right? Now he's out of that. Now he's always looking for the same adulates and same cheers he used to get on the football field. And usually them came from white coaches. So he's only doing what he's been trained to do.
Wow.
This dude is it, and now to get there, and this dude's talking about he was on cocaine, and listen to this.
Someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. This person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time.
If he was, in fact, on cocaine and did cocaine and alcohol, the best time to do shit like that is when you're young. If he were a 50-year-old dude doing it, established-year-old dude doing it, it would be a blight. But all of us, I've done cocaine, right? I have.
Wait,
Hold up.
wait, Neil, hold up.
You done cocaine, right?
No.
Well, you from Africa. I don't know what you did.
I have not done cocaine.
Okay, I have. Have you done cocaine
First of all,
before?
my mama watching this. Hey, you ain't supposed to be saying shit like this. I done cocaine. You done. How about we just say everybody here?
He said, Richard said, by now this case is not took serious by anyone. I think it is. I think it's from people like us. Classic's been covering this very closely. Like I think there are people who are taking it serious, Rigid. I think the bigger celebrities are in a pissing contest. They're talking about each other instead of just going to the facts of the case. So I think when you see it from the bigger platforms, you might feel like that. But I think the people who really care. But like I think a lot of this stuff is like a pissing contest for the rest of the celebrities when they're going back and forth about their personal instead of just keeping it on what it is. He said, Mary said, what person? What's the name of this said person?
I think the one that told Officer Tatum.
Oh. He never dropped the name, Mario, when I watched the little clip. So
I'll say this. What bugs me about Officer Nolan, Officer Tatum. It sounded good, didn't it? Officer Tatum, I did it again. Is why spew these facts that you're getting from a back end, but there's no confirmed reports yet. Like there's no confirmed toxicology report. And are you doing it for clicks? Are you doing it so people can say tune in to you? What are you really doing? Why even spew that out? Why even put that out there when it's a possibility that it can't be true? So you're gonna have to retract your statement. Oh no, he didn't have it in the system. The toxicology report came back and he was clean. So why even throw that out there in the mix of all the mud that's being spewed around anyway?
I think it's now again. I told you. I think it's just a pissing contest, right? Like I try to watch the full videos of these things because you can really see what's really going on. Like if you really watch the first part of that interview before also see they just clipping it for you. But if you go watch the whole thing, Officer Tatum opens that video up talking about the people who have slandered his name so far.
So is this get back?
I'm serious. Like that's why I was kind of speaking to Rigid point, right?
Yeah.
You're starting to see these big people take it personal and they're worrying about what people are saying about them instead of them just covering the case.
Yeah.
Like it's no longer about Nolan. They having a pissing contest between each other. Like you're insulting the character instead of just having just talk about the case. Y'all can have that pissing contest after we find out what happened to Nolan.
And of course they're trying to find any negativity that they can link to Nolan to tarnish his name, because his mother spoke very highly of him. Family have spoken very highly of him. Even his own friends, so-called friends, have spoken very highly of him. So they're trying to find something in the mix to tarnish that great look that Nolan has, was all who he was, basically. So, yeah.
Regis said, but we're doing nothing. Our words are not enough, just throwing away grievances. Not saying go to war, but it's nobody that could make something happen being addressed. And Rigid, I think that goes back to Mario asked pretty much the same question in a shorter form, right? She asked, why isn't it no huge protest going on in Mississippi? And once I'm trying to see the best way to put it. You get to see what people really are willing to stand up for. I think people who are covering it has more courage than the people who are not protesting, the people who are not in front out there in Mississippi. Like, I think what you're saying is definitely right. With that being said, we don't know if people not stacking up to go to war. We don't know.
And his mother asked for people not to for the protest not to cause any ruckus, basically. Be peaceful in a way that you're doing. I've seen some peaceful protests going on the news agencies and whatnot, where they're walking and they're saying justice for Nolan, and they're keeping quiet. They're not causing any, damages to the city and things like that. So they're following along what Miss Christine asked them to do, which is commendable. But if
I
it's
agree.
not,
Mary, I was about to say that. Mary. That's really what it, and that's why I always tell people, like, when things hit the fan, you're gonna find out who really gonna do what.
when the funk hits the fan, it's gonna smell like chitlins, collard greens, and pan.
I'm telling you,
I forget
like,
where I got that
I agree.
from.
I agree with Miss Mary on that, man. I agree. They live there. And it kind, that Mary, that probably answers my question that I had initially. I ain't gonna lie to you, initially, about why people don't cover everything, right? Like why we didn't hear about those other stories that they are bringing up now that happened in Mississippi, and it's probably because of that reason. People are even afraid to speak about the things that have already happened there, and so then you leave it in the hands of a celebrity who really has no dog in the fight in that area. That's why I said, like, I think in the future, if people really want to bring light to the things that are going on in their community, if you cover your local news and really bring attention to your local news, I think that's kind of where the small, what they call it, grassroots. It's almost like grassroots YouTubing or content creation. Like, how do you start right in your backyard to bring awareness to what's going on around you? And then I think that's how you create future politicians and stuff too. That's how you create future leaders now. Because, like, once you start paying attention to what's going on in your backyard, you start to want to fight a little bit more. So things of that nature. So that's one of the biggest things. I'll put it in there. I'll let you read that comment right there.
Bridget said, I wouldn't do anything myself, but if I knew him personally, I would have motivation. None of his friends, not one, made a stand. And that, Richard, I agree with you on that, because it seems like, hey, somebody will be putting one of his friends. It could be Trace. It could be Warren. I have not, unless I've missed it, not one of his friends have said, hey, somebody knows what happened. They're not putting that PSA out there. Whoever you are, come forward. Let us know exactly what happened. I know we're getting that from other people, as Ben Crump, as the parents, as other law enforcement, as other content creators, news agencies and stuff like that. But nobody has went up for Nolan. Nobody, I haven't seen anybody personally say, hey, somebody knows something. Will somebody please speak up? It was not us. We did not do anything. This was the last thing. I mean, they've been firm in their stance or their stories about what they're saying, what happened, all these extra details that is not even relevant to his passing. But yet and still, you would think they would be more proactive in that stance, But like Ms. Mary said, they're scared because they have to live there.
Yeah.
Penny said the silence is so loud about Black culture has a lot of opportunities and it's on display now.
Yeah. We're gonna cover a lot of that next week too, Penny. There's a lot of these types I'm gonna cover when exactly what you said. Bridget said, I think they just being quiet cops too because who the parents are. I can see that.
They got connection.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the third town hall meeting. This one is gonna be having our guy Judge Mathis on display here. Judge Mathis gave his opinion about Nolan Wells' friend Warren speaking out, and he talks about it on his I think it was called something dialogue or something, if I'm not
Art of
mistaken.
Dialogue.
Art of Dialogue. So here we go.
Yeah, the friend you referring to is Warren Hudson. He did an interview where he made a comment about how Nolan, he was drinking alcohol on the boat.
Well, they all were. Who are they kidding? Who are they kidding? They all were. I bet it was, even if they had a 12-year-old on the island, he was drinking. So no, yes. So was he. So was everybody. So did everybody drown with bruises on the back of their neck? Did all the people drinking drown with bruises on the back of their neck? How is that relevant then? Unless he fell off, then you got dozens of witnesses seeing him fall off of a boat that is near the dock because he wasn't on another boat. He stayed behind on the island, perhaps in the dock area. So what's the relevance of him drinking? He didn't get drunk and fall off in the ocean. We do know that. In someone else's boat. So that's no relevance. That's just like saying George Floyd was high. And so therefore they had a right to execute him. And so we're saying now, oh, well, Nolan had been drinking. That doesn't give you a right to execute him. When I say execute him, I mean kill, of course.
Yeah, his friend doubled down that Nolan wanted to stay. He also said that it was common for people to leave their phones on the boat for it won't get water damage.
No, not either. No teenager in the world, they would risk the salt. What is him? Salt water if you drop it? If you drop your phone in any water, you can drop it while you're on the dock. Drop it while you're in the boat. Drop it. So you can drop it in any place in the area of salt water. And so no, everybody, all those young people, it is not common. That's a lie. It is not common. And I have no facts to verify it other than common sense. And I don't believe that a lot of those teenagers actually leave their phone somewhere unattended for hours. That's what he would be suggesting. Because if you come there, you're not coming to the island for 10 minutes. You're coming to hang and party. And you're going to put your phone somewhere? You think, I don't believe young people can go an hour without their phone. I don't believe teenagers can go an hour without their phone without start shaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out because it still don't make sense to me because they never told Nolan mom that they had a phone. She had to use an app to find out. So
correct. Yeah, they had it and didn't turn it in. The only way they found it, as you just said, his mother had to use an app to find the phone as opposed to them saying, oh, we have Nolan's phone. And the news comes on. Oh, Nolan is missing. Let's call his mom immediately. We don't have her number. Walk to the house. We didn't know the address. Oh, so he really wasn't your friend. Now we're getting closer to the truth. You don't even know where he lived. My sons, we did a version of our show today, the Mathis Family Tables, a YouTube show, podcast. And one of the things we discussed is what are real friends? What does real friendship mean? And it was in the context of the Nolan Wells case. And it was easy for me. It means trust / loyalty, and then being able to identify with you. And in many instances, that's why my family says, well, you don't have any friends out here in LA. I don't want no friends in LA. I can't identify with them, nor do I trust them. And in fact, if I trust you and love you, you can cross me. I'm going to put you on timeout for a minute, but I'm going to re-embrace you out of love. Now, if you did something to me to hurt me, then I'm going to go nuclear on you. But if you did something to help yourself, but not hurt me, I might give you a pass if you're a loved one. But if your objective was to hurt me, I got to hurt you 10 times over. So I say that to say, were they his real friends? Should he have trusted them? Should he have been loyal to them? Should he have believed they would never do anything to harm him, that they would only look out for his best interests? Probably not. He probably didn't know him that well enough to put that type of trust and faith in them.
Yeah, he also said that he told the United States Coast Guard and Nolan's mom that he was missing.
You call the Coast Guard, and you don't call his mother first. You call the Coast Guard. I mean, these are teenagers. This isn't like these are middle-aged people who, yes, you are a responsible enough person. Okay, I'll call the Coast Guard, and I know how they operate, and I know how to communicate with them, and I know the questions they're going to ask, and I know the answers to give. No, you are a teenager. You need an adult to handle those situations, and you need a trusted adult that you go to. You go to either your own parent, you call. You say, Mama, my man is missing. Nolan is missing. What do we do? And they say, call 911 and have you call his parents. Maybe he called them. Well, no, we have his phone. Oh, he left his phone? Yeah, he left his phone. Why did he leave his phone? That's what would have happened. Would you call the Coast Guard if you're a teenager and your man ends up missing? Would you call the Coast Guard first? Or would you call your parents and say, what do I do?
He's speaking facts. He's speaking 100% facts. Because even as an adult, there's moments that you'll call your mom, your father, or to let them know what has happened, even before you call 911. Like, he's speaking facts today. Tell him, Judge Mathis.
Or call his parent and say, what do I do? You're a teenager. You're calling somebody close and informed. Somebody close that you can trust and is informed and that's close to him as well. And they didn't do that. Instead, as you say, they called the Coast Guard and told them what? How did they know? How long was he missing? Had they found the body? What'd you call the Coast Guard for? What'd you call the Coast Guard for? He told you he was going to be left behind. Did he have a curfew? Did he tell you he was going to be this amount of time? Why is it that you felt the need to call the Coast Guard at any point before he had been found drowned? There was no need. The man partied. Oh, he must have spent the night with her. Oh, man, Nolan getting it in. Shit, we might not see Nolan for a couple of days. Such and such and such and such. Nah, that's how you feel. If you trust that everything is all right with your man, it's only if you think something is wrong that you determine you need to call the authorities. Late what? Late what? Late from what? They don't know when he's coming back. He didn't tell them I'm going to be back at such and such time. He told them I'm staying. They claim that he said, I'm staying back with this woman. If you stand back with a woman, come on now. A teenager, you ain't giving your boys when you're going to get back. You're going to say, I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully it's tomorrow afternoon. After we do what we do. That's the mindset of a teenager staying behind and his boys going forward, knowing that their boy has been staying behind with his woman. But once again, the woman they claim he stayed with, her sister or best friend, said they only saw Nolan in passing.
So there you have it, man, from Greg, Judge Mathis, man. He didn't even need, he just giving you pure common sense.
That's it, all of it.
He just giving pure common sense on like he's giving you clear common sense of the perspective that people can have.
Yeah. And common folk can have the same perspective, you know. And everything he said is like, is what would you as a person outside of law enforcement, as an everyday citizen of this United States or whatever state you live in, that is like, to me, like a normal thought process. What he said was full of common sense. There's nothing, something is off, something is wrong. But like I said, what is it exactly? And that's what's missing, the exact thing that happened. You know, forget the boat, forget the call, forget all of that. What happened between those times that the last person at time that Nolan was seen by somebody, for sure, no, like, oh, it's 7:35. There go Nolan Wells. You know, that's the last time I seen Nolan was about 7:35. And when he was unfortunately found 2 days later. So Miriam said Judge Mathis is always laying down the truth. You know. He does have common sense. So that's what's missing, those hours after his friends supposedly left him on this island, and whoever it was, the last person that laid eyes on him, and the time that when he was found. That's the part that's missing. Penny said money and privilege operate from protection and fear not concern and love. Silence is the best defense once the evidence has been collected.
Yeah, that's what we're witnessing right now, Penny. Silence, straight silence.
Mm-hmm.
She said,
hey, Mrs. V.
What's up, V? She said, come here. Said common sense.
Yeah.
They used to say common sense ain't too common.
Mm-hmm.
Where I grew up, it ain't too common. So, yeah, there you have it, man. You had Judge Mathis. I thought he gave a great take on it, like just from like a person who even didn't need all the details, right? Didn't need to talk about the recording that leaked. This is just what I'm doing, piecing it together in my thought process if I was a teenager or a young adult. Mm-hmm. That's all he did. He broke it down to the dumbest form of like, hey, all right, let's take out all that.
Yeah.
Not one time did he mention race or anything. All he said was, boom. My homeboy going to get some cheeks tonight. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're not in a panic. You're not in a worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If
Like
I, if I was in that situation, I would be like, I would be on a boat out to Horn Island at night, going out there trying to find. Why didn't they go back out there? Did law enforcement tell them not to go back out there? I don't know.
No, that wouldn't be correct because that wouldn't protect Warren's lie. Because on Tatum's show, Warren said they went back out. Remember that morning, and the police then told them to go back.
I would have went out there that night.
Yeah.
Somebody would have drove. I would have took somebody's boat. If somebody need to give me their keys, I don't know what I'm doing, but I would have took some. If this is my best friend, I'm going out there with a flashlight. We know ain't nothing out there but some sand and a little bit of grass, lagoons, and some trees. There might be some animals out there. But this is supposedly my best friend. I'm going out there with a flashlight.
But
and if you come with me, come with me. If you don't, you don't. This is my best friend.
Yeah, this is like a case of law and order, though, man. Whoever's guilty in this situation is in the best situation possible, right? Because with the grand jury now being in place, they can go ask for certain things. You can try to ask for immunity. You can try to ask for a lesser charge. You can get so much now. Like that's the only thing I didn't like. I think you were. I don't know if it was if you were on there, but I covered about like what the grand jury actually consists of, and that's what really bothers me about this whole situation because I feel now we'll never really get the truth. We're gonna get somebody who's willing to tell their story and get off.
They won't need to.
Yeah, or the person who tells on the person. You'll see that. Yeah, I just feel like the grand jury is like the ultimate plan to lessen the blow at this point. So yeah, man. So we're gonna move on to our next town hall meeting note, and we did pin the link in the chat for those who want to come up. Like we said, you can get 2 minutes. You can say whatever you like to say. You don't have to be on point of what we're talking about. Whatever you want to talk about or give your opinion, we do have it linked in the chat there. So town hall meeting number 4, Nancy Grace and with Stephen A. Smith got together on Straight Shooter, and they kind of had their dialogue as well. And the reason why I'm showing this, because you guys who've been here for the whole thing tonight, we appreciate you. We started out with her initial video, right? And you're going to be able to see how Nancy Grace normally articulates and how she questions other people to get like a deeper conversation going. So let me get this pulled up for y'all real quick. So here we go.
Because of my twins.
I got you.
Boy-girl twins I had 18 years ago.
Wow. All right. That's a lot. That's a lot of reason to be happy. No question about that. Let's get right to this case involving Nolan Wells. You've been all over this case right now. Just as a reminder to the audience, Wells was the 18-year-old college football player from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, who was on a boat July 4th with a group of friends and traveled by private boat to Horn Island, an uninhabited barrier island off the Mississippi coast. Wells was the only black person, or so reported, on the boat. When the friends returned to the mainland, Nolan was the only one who did not make it back. Talk to me about this story, Nancy, and what do you make of it at this particular moment in time?
I think that it is very murky. And I do not understand, Stephen, the demands on all platforms for the investigation to be shut down. Is it possible Nolan Wells died by accident? Yes, it's possible. Is it possible that there was foul play? Yes, that is possible. And I don't believe the investigation should be shut down until we know the answer to that. I have 2 children, both the age of Nolan Wells. I would be lying on the courthouse steps screaming for justice if the investigation into a death related to them was shut down before I had answers. So I don't understand where all the hate is coming from.
Who specifically is calling for the shutdown of the investigation? Just to educate my audience.
Well, go online. There's any number of people, thousands of people that think that, quote, this was an accidental drowning. Why are you doing this? You're a race baiter. You're fill in the blank. This has nothing to do with what color his skin was. this has to do with an unanswered question. During my prosecutorial career, I very often was the only white person in the courtroom. That has nothing to do with Lady Justice. What Lady Justice wants, what justice demands, is a full and fair investigation. And I'm also not saying that's not going on, because my boss, Lewis Slayton, the longest serving elected district attorney at that time, I think, Stephen, it was 37 years, was like a grandfather to me. He was very strict.
So I want y'all to pay attention to the balance that she now has on Straight Shooter. Because I got kind of frustrated with Dante Kyle. I don't know if y'all follow him from Grits and Eggs or whatever his thing is, but he actually posted a little bit of her excerpt, and he was talking so highly of her. And I went in his chat and I asked the question, was like, she's saying the things that you would get upset if someone else was saying that. Like, people would judge if I felt that, hey, it could have been foul play. Hey, it could have not been foul play. Hey, like, people would be pissed off. You see what I mean? Like, but then we put her on a pedestal, and she's literally saying the same things. She's playing both sides of the fence. Even though she's known for her work, if you really pay attention to her, she still straddles both sides of the fence. And she does it very well, because she knows people clip her up. They don't watch her whole thing. They clip her up. But I watch full lengths of what she's saying, everything she's talking about. And she literally just sat here and said two things could be true multiple times so far. So
no one to speak to the press. It could ruin the case. I always had the same answer when asked. I believe a Fulton County jury will render a verdict that speaks the truth. Because I did believe that. We are not owed an explanation from law enforcement as to what they are doing. However, there are a lot of questions, specifically, Stephen, regarding the autopsy.
Wait.
The initial
Nancy, come on now. Nancy.
that's why I'm here for y'all. I'm here for the people. See, I'm here for the people. I'm here for the people.
Nancy.
I'm here for the people.
Nancy just said we are not owed an explanation
not Nancy.
of what the law enforcement is doing.
Not Mr. Dante Kyle, Grits and Eggs, Mr. I'll go be the next Malcolm X.
Not Nancy. Now, wait a minute.
Got my chair all messed up. Y'all, excuse me real quick.
No, that's crazy. Penny said, justice is blind, but sure can hear. When the narrative is the most believable, not factual, the longer we pollute the pond, the harder it is to see the bottom.
Thank you, Penny.
I'll put it back up.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Penny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you read that one more time for Penny?
Let me read it slowly.
I'm gonna send Penny a Christmas card this year. Go read that for Penny.
Justice is blind, but can sure hear. When the narrative is the most believable, not factual. The longer we pollute the pond, the harder it is to see the bottom.
I keep trying to tell everybody that.
Penny, when you coming up on the panel?
And that was the first form of pollution was race.
Yeah.
That's what divided everybody's thought process at first. People could say no, but that was the line that was drawn at first. Even with the history of Mississippi, he said, I'm Judge Hutchinson. like I'm telling y'all. But see, I wanted to bring this to people because a lot of people, I seen a bunch of people put her up on their platforms. I'm like, nah.
Wait a minute, Nancy.
No, see, I watch full interviews. I read the whole book. You ain't gonna tell me to go to a chapter. I'm gonna read every chapter before that chapter. I follow this stuff, but at the same time, I don't really hate her on her because she's giving both sides. But people pick the side of Nancy Grace that they want. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody, but some people pick the side of Nancy Grace they want. Oh, Nancy Grace on the case, she's gonna get to the bottom of it. No, she's not. She just has a lot of antics. She's a female version of Stephen A. Smith. She puts on a great production, a great show. She knows all the right people. Everybody wants to come to the Nancy Grace show.
Yeah.
But when you start listening to her, I have watched all her interviews. Everybody, he said, "Nah, Nancy, nah." Yeah, she is the truth. She's her own truth. She's her own truth. We get clear. I'm telling you, he said it could be foul play turned accidental murder. So there is a situation where both are true. Okay.
He said that.
He said 100. He said, I'm judging her too.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute, answer what you just.
What's up, Ramon? Ramon said, dang, Penny, you write greeting cards or something? That was deep. No, welcome here, Ramon. But yeah, I just wanted to play both sides because I think a lot of people get real excited. But when you pay attention to her, she just plays the antagonist role. She's gonna ask you some questions. She might be a protagonist depending on how things work. But she's in it for the same thing. Nancy Grace came out of retirement, y'all. Like Nancy Grace just came out of retirement for this. She wasn't no fool. She chasing the same thing the majority of people chasing. The bad. That lady getting 1 million views on a 30-minute clip.
Autopsy has remained under seal. We don't know what the answer was. The family, understandably, sent Nolan's body hundreds of miles away for a second opinion. When that doctor got the body, the lungs and the throat were missing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why the lungs were missing, because this could have been a drowning case. But why the throat? What was there about Nolan's throat that piqued the interest of the original medical examiner? That leads me to speculate. Was there bruising? Was a hyoid bone fractured? Was it broken? Was it dislodged?
See what she does? She goes back to that talking point that's going to get you back on her side.
Oh, yeah.
For those people who are looking at, that was a... No. I already heard you say that you feel it could be two different things. I already heard it.
Is there possibly bruising on the strap muscles? Is it indicative of a blow? We know on the back of the head, that's your occipital bone on the back of your head, about where your hairline would start, that there is deep red discoloration under the subcutaneous tissue. What? Is it from a blow? Is it from diffusion of the blood post-mortem? I don't know. But none of it is good. So I need answers before any investigation is going to be shut down.
What do you make of those who have said, I remember Officer Tatum, a conservative podcaster, very popular.
Now listen to her, because this was before she went to Officer Tatum.
Over 3 million subscribers. He's been on a warpath going down, talking to some of the people that were there with Nolan Wells, white individuals. He's saying that evidence is showing that when they departed, Nolan Wells was alive. And you know what? They may have had absolutely positively nothing to do with this. The evidence shows that. Is that your finding, that the evidence shows that the people being, with allegations being thrown in their direction, the suspicions that have been raised by these people that were in attendance with Nolan Wells, that they should be, they have been proven or found to not have been around even when he was still alive? Is your findings consistent with anything along that verbiage with what people are saying about these kids that were with him?
No. I don't know the answer to that. They say Nolan chose to stay behind because he met a girl he wanted to talk to named Katie. That girl has spoken through her sister, we are told. And she says Nolan told her, I'm going back with my friends. So who am I supposed to believe? I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is true. I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is false. I do know they called SETOW, S-E-A, second word T-O-W, and said that their vessel was sinking. But yet they continued boating around in it for hours after. Is there an innocent explanation? Maybe. Maybe they thought it was sinking. They found the problem and they fixed it. Now, specters have been raised up.
Rewind that back. Please, sir.
I got you. I'm here for it.
We are told. And she says Nolan told her, I'm going back with my friends. So who am I supposed to believe? I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is true. I don't know for a fact that what the boys are saying is false. I do know they called SETOW, S-E-A, second word T-O-W, and said that their vessel was sinking. But yet they continued boating around in it for hours after. Is there an innocent explanation? Maybe. Maybe they thought it was sinking. They found the problem and they fixed it. Now, specters have been raised about audio suggesting Nolan had been on the boat on their return. I don't know if that was doctored. I don't know if it's real. I do know this. He went to Horn Island with them. They came back alive. He's dead. I'm going to investigate. You're darn right I'm going to investigate. And my wish is that his friends are innocent and that this was an accident. But it will.
She's traveling.
They came back alive. He's dead. I'm going to investigate. You're darn right I'm going to investigate. And my wish is.
My wish.
That his friends are innocent and that this was an accident. But it will be a cold day in HELL that I endorse closing down an investigation because somebody said I had nothing to do with that. What am I supposed to go? Oh, okay, case closed, forget about it, and go tell the mom we're shutting down the investigation because so and so said he had nothing to do with it.
Have you received any?
Let's get to some of these, chat.
So she wants it to be accidental, but then she wants somebody to pay for it. So I mean, what is it, Nancy? What is it, Nancy? At this point, I think we all know that's not accidental. Classic said race has something to do with the way this is or is not being investigated. Definitely. Yeah.
I agree. That's why. Oh, go ahead. That's why I said that. That's why I said the first time when it first happened, when Classic first covered it the first day, I was in the chat. I said, find out who their parents are.
Yeah.
From the moment we found out who their parents were, everything was law and order. Everything was law and order.
Hey,
I-90. Yeah.
Hey, you need to go over to my page and subscribe, I-90, and turn on the notification. You say you're not getting
We are talking about saving Nolan Wells. She is over here protecting. No, I got to.
I need some more subscribers, y'all. Y'all go subscribe to my page too. While y'all here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Peter said, reasonable doubt is gray, not black and white. Theories being planted is a lot of gray. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, sir. He said he made it back yesterday. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, glad you made it back, big dog. Safe travels, man.
Richard said, I'm saving the statement you said. So genetics are important. Be ready.
Yeah.
I said, man, I never get notifications. Y'all on weird.
You probably got to go to your settings and click on the bell and click all.
Oh, yeah.
If your bell says personalized, that means you're going to have to select certain ones that you want to be notified for. Click the bell on YouTube and click all. It'll always notify you 30 minutes out and then when we live.
Classic said there is a thin line between objectivity and straddling the fence. Some people believe objectivity is playing the fence regardless, and that's where the thin line is. Rudgen said, is this Diddy? No.
Not today.
Mary said, like I said, if Nolan was left behind, it could have been other kids that killed Nolan. So then his friends wouldn't have known what happened to Nolan.
It is some truth there. It's some truth there. That's kind of what Nancy said, though, right? It could be anyone, right?
Yeah. Too Tight said Nancy was on Tatum's tail. Not gonna lie.
She wasn't initially, though. You see how she overstepped Tatum on the question Stephen A. did. She didn't even speak on Officer Tatum that whole show.
Reggie said this is all Joe's fault. Okay. I-90 said accidents don't excuse accountability. All right. Yeah.
That big facts right there.
Penny said got that C-Told AAA boat coverage.
And she talk about that every time.
I-90 said, what's the page name? I put it in the chat.
She put it in the chat for you. It's on right here, big dog, on the Soft Rain.
Pastor said, y'all notice I haven't covered Nancy Grace. We understand. Bridget said, random for whoever needs it. Look at all the things you have. That was once goals to have. That's gratitude. Absolutely.
Big facts, big facts. We are blessed. We blessed, Richard, for sure.
I'm gonna use that Bridget and
Mhm.
post it. Mary said, I'll make sure I put Bridget down at the bottom. Mary said, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot here, man. It's a lot here. We are gonna do our final house thing. We're gonna actually try to review some of this live coverage from the what they were at the lawyer with Ben Crump when they covered it today with the parents. So we're gonna cover some of this with you guys today. So give me 1 second to get that pulled up real quick, and I'm gonna get that. So but again, if anybody wants to come up, we give you 2 minutes. You can speak on what you like to speak on. Super chats are open, but you can do all the free stuff too. Just like, subscribe. Again, we appreciate everybody who's watching from the Facebook side of things. We appreciate you that are watching on that side, because Facebook, we have reached monetization on the Facebook side. So we appreciate you guys that supported us. If you weren't on the show yesterday on our playbacks and perspective, me and Rain did show the pictures of like the views and the reshares that we've recently gotten. I think we had like 250,000 views. You muted, Rain. You still mute. Y'all help Rain. Y'all go on help donate to the Help Rain Fund.
There I go.
There you go.
But no, don't shortchange us now. We had 500,000.
Oh, it was 500,000. It was
Yeah,
500.
almost at
520. Okay.
Yeah, almost at 600,000. Right at the cusp of 600,000. I think we're at like 2.5K subscribers. Miss Muriel joined the
subscription.
Yes, they call it subscription list on. No, okay, so 2.5 followers is different on Facebook. And subscriptions are open. They're 99 cents a month, and we'll have some special content for that. And Miss Muriel, she subscribed, and Miss Jen. Yeah. So we appreciate all that, for real, for real.
I'm trying to see who I really
we at 591K.
I'm trying to see who I want to cover this with, because for copyright purposes, maybe we'll play a clip from it so that we'll place parts of it and like go in and out.
I know Don Lidman covered it, but I don't know if he copyrights this stuff.
It's okay. We'll go with Forbes, and we'll just go in and out if we have to.
Okay. It's on the NUL page.
The NUL? Okay.
The National Urban League. It's on their page as well.
Okay. NUL. That ain't coming up, right?
The National Urban League? I might be able to pop it up because I saved it. Let's see.
I got you.
You got it?
Yep, got it right here. Okay. All right. So let's get this started for y'all. So this is going to be the last topic for the town hall tonight. Go ahead, Rain, if you want to go ahead and go through those comments real quick, and I'll get that pulled up.
Okay. I-90 West said he just subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate you. If you're on Facebook, make sure y'all go over to our Facebook page as well and hit follow. Classy said if he was left behind, it's very, very easy to prove that. Penny said more likes and subscribers get Rain off mute. Classy said it's remarkably easy to prove if he was left behind. Ms. Muriel said off topic, but thanks for the movie, Bridget. Yeah, I gotta watch that. Watch it.
Yeah, we looked at the trailer, so we definitely covering it.
Classic said Trayston said it best. Quote, Ocean Springs will look out for Ocean Springs.
He did say that.
Mm-hmm. Miss V said sent the prayer hands. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
All right, y'all, we're going to get to our last town hall meeting topic tonight. This is the updates from Ben Crump and the family. So we're going to go over to the National Urban League, and we're going to let this play. We'll do some stopping just in case for copyright purposes. So we'll hear what they got to say. As y'all see on the screen here, they do have Daniel Irving Nolan Wells and Taylor Smith, and they're going to be talking about them as well a little bit. So I kind of want to go forward. Let me see here because the gentleman's going to talk, but I'm going to wait. All right, Ben Crump is right.
I wish we could have heard the media's questions at the end, but they didn't have mics, so all we heard were their answers.
DeRaya and
That's where they have a blank out right there.
Elmore Wansley, who are standing with you as well. Tamika, your daughter is here. You are not alone. Y'all, please let her know she is not alone. Justice for Daniel Irvins. Attorney Harry Daniels, we also have the family of Tyler Smith, Lexington, Kentucky. You're going to hear from all these families. You're going to hear from Tyler's mother and especially his grandmother. You know, until the lawyers get there, till the community advocates get there, a lot of times these families are just by themselves, President Mariel. And thank God for this mother and this praying grandmother who refused to let them sweep the death of her grandbaby under the rug. And so I will say briefly about each of these tragedies. Obviously, many of you know about Nolan Wells, and you'll hear from his mother and father after brief remarks by Attorney Hertz and Attorney Park. But we all know July 4th, Nolan Wells goes with friends, celebrating 4th of July. All the friends come back. Nolan Wells tragically washes up on the shore 2 days later, dead. And so we know all the current events that have been happening. We are announcing that we have the audio from the officials, and we have retained and are consulting with some of the foremost audio engineering experts to review those audio tapes from the CETO call in its entirety. We also, and Attorney Hertz may go into greater detail on these matters, have consulted President Mariel with oceanic engineering experts to talk about how these facts are lining up. The fact that they say Nolan's body was found in the same location where they say they left him at. And so we want to know, how is that possible with the oceanic tides? Yeah. We want the experts. I mean, you got low tides and high tides. It's not adding up. So we are going to dot every I and cross every T until we find out what happened to Nolan Wells. Attorney Hertz will also go into a little more detail, and Attorney Park, about how we're trying to coordinate with Dr. Roger Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy of Nolan Wells, to be able to inspect his throat that was missing with his body when he was flown to do the autopsy with Dr. Mitchell. Also, we are hopeful that they will discuss with Dr. Mitchell the photographs and observations made at the time when Nolan was first discovered, because Dr. Mitchell did not get an opportunity until July 10th to be able to examine his body. And at that time, we know the airways and the lungs had already been dissected and so forth. So we can't tell if there was the presence of water or not. That would suggest whether he drowned or not. And remember what Dr. Roger Mitchell said in his autopsy. President Mariel, he talked about the fact that to say he drowned does not draw the conclusions of what happened to Nolan Wells. He said it is equally important to know at what condition was Nolan Wells' body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water or did he go unforced into the water? He said all of these things are very important. And so we're dotting I's and crossing T's. We are focused on getting to the truth, and we stand for the truth. Me and everybody on my legal team stand for the truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. Yes. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. And we stand for transparency, so everybody can see. And that's all we want. We want answers. We're not casting aspersions on anybody. We are saying that we want to make sure everybody who is remotely involved has the questions answered to make sure we have a full and fair and impartial and transparent investigation. And is that too much to ask for these brokenhearted parents? Is that too much to ask? That's all.
You muted.
Let me ask a question to y'all who are in the chat and really think about this. Are people going to be okay if the result comes out that he drowned?
If it was your child, wouldn't you want the same thing? And I get it. They're attacking me. They're attacking Reverend Al. They're attacking the parents of Nolan Wells. We don't care about those distractions. We ain't no ways tired. We are completely focused, completely laser focused on getting to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. And so the threats, the attacks mean nothing to us. We will not be deterred. Look into our eyes. We're going to get to the truth. I am so grateful to Mr. Byron Allen for donating $100,000 to the GoFundMe so we can help get the best experts in the world. I am thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton. I am thankful to Mr. Tyler Perry. I'm thankful to Mr. Terrell Owens. I am very thankful to everybody who did not think it robbery to say, what can we do to help people get to the truth and call in to the tip line so we can help not only Nolan Wells' family, but we can help Daniel Irvin's family, and we can help Tyler Smith's family as well. Everybody on social media, please continue to ask questions. Please continue to share photographs, share videos. It all helps us solve this potential of what happened to Nolan Wells. I mean, it's just so important. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. As Christine and Elmore have said, if you're really Nolan's friend, you know in your heart of hearts that if the roles were reversed, that Nolan would say something. He would call and tell what he saw. And so that's all they're asking.
Mary said, hold on. He said his answer was no. They won't accept it. It's been too much time and delay. Mario said, I don't believe they will if they do not get the answers to what was on the throat and lungs. Okay. Welcome in, Big E. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate you for joining us tonight. Whoever started to record the last part of this whole tape recording on their phone is the main heroes. Other words, just justice prevail in so many words, because this is very sad that was done. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. He said, let justice prevail. We got you. We got you, big dog. Welcome in. Welcome in. Richard said, whoever did it wouldn't say that. So, got you. He said, Crump needs to stop pimping tragedy. Why parade if the lawyers ain't landed yet? Folks already have their minds made up, it seems. Yeah. That's why I just wanted to ask the question. I just wanted to ask the question as we continue to move forward. Because I think sometimes we have to, and this is just the mental health side of me coming out, right? Like sometimes we have to prepare ourselves for the acceptable losses sometimes. Like, how are we going to move forward if we don't get the answers that we feel we should have gotten? Like, how are we going to start moving forward? Just like those other parents that are up there, they didn't get the answers. You know, the Daniel Irvin, the friend, finally confessed about what happened with his situation, and it was a young white man. He's in jail right now. So, like, they got the answers later from a confession from the young white man that was out there. But there's a lot of questions you can pose. I'm gonna pull out a Nancy Grace thing, right? Because the question that Crump just said was that the parents said, if you call yourselves Nolan friends, you would say something. But everybody who has apparently called themselves a friend are identified as not friends. So who do we identify as his friends? I think that's the most important part. Like, who do we identify as his? I wish there was like a true list where the mom felt was like, hey, these are his friends, man. We just need y'all to come out. If y'all don't, even if y'all didn't see anything, if you could just come out and speak on the behalf of your friend, like, who is his friend?
Mm.
Because right now you're saying everybody who speaks on his behalf isn't his friend. So we need to find out who is his friend. We haven't heard from Javon either again. So like, and people said they don't felt like he was a friend. They felt like he just wanted to get paid for his TMZ interview, things of that nature. So just questions that I would pose if I was just thinking about like, okay, how do we get to know who his friends are so that we can know who needs to speak out? Because why are we wasting our times with the Warrens and all these other kids when there are other people who are truly Nolan's friends that are not speaking out? So,
And to answer your
I'm sorry.
question,
Go ahead.
well, I know you posted to the chat, like, what if drowning is the final answer from all the investigation, from everything that was said. If, as long as it provides the parents closure at the end of the day, then but yet and still, I feel as though us outsiders are not going to be satisfied, because we're going to ask, how did he drown? What was the circumstances leading up to drowning? Did he fall off the boat and nobody could save him? Or, what really, or did somebody push him off the boat, thinking that he could swim and he really couldn't swim, but I think they said that he could swim. So it's still all the unanswered questions is what's really hurting. I think the parents, so.
Yeah. And Miles, which side of the legal counsel are you speaking of? He said the problem is that the legal counsel is in control. Regis said, who started the race narrative? Like, who made this a thing? Where he's at, it's not enough black people. And who drowns a popular guy with hundreds of witnesses and attempts could fail. Nolan could hurt you.
I think the race narrative got started. The general public started the race narrative because of the initial seeing one black kid surrounded by white. So I think that the outside influences started that race narrative. That's my answer.
I agree with you.
Now I say, in a perfect world, they would speak up. Absolutely, they would have already. This would have already been solved 27 days ago.
And he said the defense. Yeah.
Nolan, what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Do for Nolan what he would have done for you. Congresswoman Beatty, we thank you. And the answers of what happened to Nolan Wells, what happened to Daniel Irvins, and what happened to Tyler Smith. 3 18-year-old black boys in a 3-month period around 4th of July, 2026, who all were unalived in very similar ways as Nolan Wells. And I'm very thankful to his parents for using the attention that they were given and blessed with to also give attention to these other 18-year-old black boys. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much, Elmore. At this time, before we get to your questions, you're going to hear briefly from Attorney Eric Hertz and then Attorney Lisa Park with some updates, and then you'll hear from Nolan Wells' parents. Attorney Eric Hertz, a great civil rights lawyer.
Thank you for showing up. I have some brief updates on the Nolan Wells case. We have been working with the district attorney. We've gotten a letter back yesterday, and she's willing to listen to some of the evidence we have, although we're having to still discuss her giving us back evidence, and that's something that we will see. The phones, not just our client's phones, but the other phones that are involved in this situation, we are trying to coordinate and have come to a tentative agreement with the district attorney to go ahead and have them investigated together jointly with our experts as well as their experts. And I believe, if I'm not speaking out of turn, the FBI is going to also be present there. And that's going to show a lot of stuff that we haven't seen.
Can you look him up and see where he's originally from?
What did he say his name was?
Let me he'll bring him back. Hold on.
To your questions, you're going to hear briefly from Attorney Eric Hertz, and then
Eric Hertz.
Then Attorney Lisa Park will some updates, and then you'll hear from Nolan Wells' parents. Attorney Eric Hertz, a great civil rights lawyer.
Thank you for showing up. I have some brief updates on the Nolan Wells case. We have been working with the district attorney. We've gotten a letter back yesterday, and she's willing to listen to some of the evidence we have, although we're having to still discuss her giving us back evidence, and that's something that we will see. The phones, not just our clients' phones, but the other phones that are involved in this situation, we are trying to coordinate and have come to a tentative agreement with the district attorney to go ahead and have them investigated together jointly with our experts as well as their experts. And I believe, if I'm not speaking out of turn, the FBI is going to also be present there. And that's going to show a lot of stuff that we haven't seen. I'm going to keep this short, but as I always say, and would like to say one more time, society is judged by how the most powerful treat the most vulnerable, and justice will prevail.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Eric Hertz. And now you will hear.
You was able to find him? You muted.
I said, I'm sorry while I was still muted. He is listed as one of America's top 100 attorneys. He's out of Georgia, one of Georgia's preeminent trial lawyers for over 25 years. He has successfully litigated wrongful death, catastrophic personal injury, and punitive damages cases. He has obtained record verdicts throughout the state of Georgia. He's double board certified by the National Board of Trial Advocacy and the American Board of Trial Advocates. He's chaired and spoke at numerous Institute of Continuing Legal Education seminars on various areas of tort and damages of law. And he's appeared on Court TV as a guest speaker and spoken at numerous other occasions regarding the law. He's an author of several authoritative practice manuals and called Punitive Damages in Georgia, Georgia Law of Tort Forms, and Georgia Law of Damages. So he's one of America's top 100.
So why he not speaking more?
You know, Ben is the face. He the face. Okay. But Eric's doing the work. So Ben is the spokesperson.
Okay. Briefly from Attorney Lisa Park, who heads up our Atlanta, Georgia office and has been leading on this effort for Nolan Wells.
So today, I just want to recognize all of these families for coming here today, traveling here to Nashville, even family that's here in the audience. If you think for just a moment, for these tragedies, they really just happened. They really just happened. And if you've ever had a loved one that you've lost, it's hard. And you feel like going into a quiet place by yourself, mourning, grieving, doing all of our own religious rituals, right? And so it's quite hard that these families have had to come into the spotlight to stand up for their children. This is not where they want to be. Yeah. And for those people who somehow think that they want to be in the spotlight, I guarantee you, this is not where they want to be. Amen. For all of these families, for every single family member that is suffering through these losses. So I want to commend all of these families. I also want to commend them for coming together as a group, right? Because all of us, we are stronger together. Yes. We are stronger together. Yes. And there are so many unanswered questions for all three of these cases. But there's.
Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe we are all stronger together?
I think it's too many hands in the cookie jar.
No, I want to hear from the chat. Like I'm very I'm very curious about the things I hear. Like, so like, do y'all feel that we're stronger together? She's speaking about everyone. She's not speaking about one class of people, one race of people. She said we are all stronger together. We can obviously look at her and tell she's not speaking for other people. So, like, do y'all believe in that sentiment that we are stronger together? And you have to ask yourself, if you truly believe in that, when will we start to have adult conversations and discord, even if we disagree? When will it become something that we can do and be adults about it? So when y'all think back to our other topic with like DL going at Tatum and then Tatum going at other people, to me, that just looks as division.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a respectful way to disagree. Like you know what I mean? See, Sko, thank you. I knew Sko was gonna give me a real answer real quickly. He said, nope, don't think so. See, like that like, because this is where souls struggle. This is where I struggle. I struggle in that middle ground of we stand for something that don't look like us. Then we have so much distrust based on if it's a certain state or a certain history, but they all the same. And that's where I get like, okay, where's the inclusivity? Where's the you know what I mean? Like, why is this white man the top 100 of in this type of category? Like, it's just questions I have, and I'm not judging anything. I really be looking for like answers in these scenarios. Like, it's just a very unique thing. Like, I don't know.
I do before you move forward, because I didn't know if you wanted to go back to what he said about the updates in the case of Nolan Wells.
Mm-hmm.
So the DA is willing to listen to their evidence, but she don't want to give up evidence the state has.
Yeah.
I mean, so what are you doing so that their investigators can do their work?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's why? Well, I didn't fight for her anyway, because all she did was pacify the media. She tried to pacify the people. She put a pacifier in their mouth, for the time being. The DA.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
She wanted to come on and say something. That's it. She wanted her face to be seen, like, okay, yeah, we working on this. Let us do our job, type deal. No, ma'am, y'all not doing y'all job. Y'all are dragging your feet. And this right here is proof. I don't think that attorney would have came on there and said, hey, she's not giving up evidence. She's not trying to push forward and let us work together to solve this so we can be done with it. Every day is another day passed without answers. So maybe I have something that might link up with your piece of the puzzle, and our pieces of the puzzle can be together to solve it, but you're not working with me, and I'm trying to work with you. So what are we doing? Why is there such turtle movement in this, slow movement in this? Why is it not? Why are we not trying to get to the end? And it seems like the Mississippi is just like they got their brakes on. They pedaling instead of pushing the gas.
Yeah, I agree.
Penny said, I feel like there should be more activists in the mix if it's really got teeth or a racial motive. Penny said, why is she willing to listen to only some of the evidence?
Yeah.
Big Skull said, when they get to the trial, I'm sure he is going to do majority of the talking. Yeah. Penny said, I think it's a talking point, but I think we are stronger together when we are rowing in the same direction, but it's not profitable to be on the same page. Richard said, I think we are stronger if we discipline our own and deal with our own problems.
I agree with that.
Muriel said, we are stronger together, but no one is standing together. Skull said, facts, said Richard. He said, we're barely being able to coexist with other races.
It's true. Y'all speaking fact.
Richard said, because we have different consequences. Some people think they're harsh. Some people think it's not enough. Muriel said, meaning I truly believe we need to stand as our people together. We will be stronger and more powerful.
Hope. And I see that hope because we do get calls.
Yes.
We have been getting over 100 calls a day.
Wow.
And I want to thank everybody who's called in, because for every time there's a hater that's saying that these people just want the spotlight, when somebody calls in with some encouragement, when somebody calls in with some information, it makes up for that.
Amen.
Because we know that we're stronger together. These questions, these cases can be solved, and we can do it together. So I want to thank everybody for calling, right? But I also, last thing, I want to encourage those who have not called yet, and you know that you have some information. One, I know that it's scary. I know that you may be scared. But if there's a time in your life to do the right thing, this is it. And you just have to be brave. And go ahead and please call us. These people, we need you. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Attorney Park. And as Nolan's mother and father get ready to come, I cannot express to you how encouraged we are that we're going to get to the truth. I mean, so many things are coming to light, and we're going to get to the truth. We are not trying to cast aspersions on anybody. We want the truth. We want the truth. That's what we want. And like we said, if that implicates you or exonerates you, then you got to talk to your Lord. You got to talk to your God. But we want the truth and nothing but the truth. And if it was your child, you would want the same thing. And so that's why of Nolan Wells, Elmore, and Christine, we're going to get to the truth.
Thank you all for being here today. It has been 27 days since we have been able to talk to our son, to hug him, to tell him we love him. This has been the most difficult time we have ever had. I want to tell you who Nolan was. Nolan was a God-fearing, God-loving child. He loved everyone. He was the person who would just make you feel comfortable just being in his space. He was never one to exclude. He always wanted everyone to be happy, to feel good, to have purpose. He would lift anyone up. It didn't even matter if he didn't know you. If you took that moment to just tell him a little bit about yourself, what you wanted to do with your life, right then and there, Nolan would be your biggest cheerleader. Today, we are begging, because I'm not too proud to beg. We are begging, if anyone knows anything, his friends, strangers, please call the hotline, because we will not be able to rest until we get answers. But please understand that all of these distractions, these other questions that people, the attacks that people have sent our way, just know we will not be distracted. We are ready to do whatever we need to do as his parents to continue advocating for him, because Nolan is not here. He is not here to speak for himself. He is not here to tell us what happened. So again, we will not rest until we get answers. And if you know something, you need to let us know. Please do not be afraid. Okay? Thank you all so much again. We truly appreciate your love and support.
So we're going to end that one right there.
It will turn.
Yeah, because I think the day that we'll start getting answers are going to be the day we stop allowing the women to be the poster child and the fathers to step the F up. I'm going to say that one more time. We will start getting change the day the mothers stop having to be the poster child and men step up. Men need to be as, I wouldn't even need Ben Crump to speak on my behalf. I got it, big dog. Like, the men have to be, we can't be moving. We're not moving on emotions anymore. We need to stop having these women up here having to fight these battles that we as men should be standing up for. That man hasn't said a word. If he did, please send the interview our way so that we can see it.
He actually spoke after her on this one.
He finna speak?
Yeah.
How long is it gonna be?
He right behind her.
Okay. Hey, y'all, I'm all ears. Give me 1 second. Rain let me fail. She failed me.
No. You gonna put it up?
I'm faced with a new challenge every morning, waking up, trying to process this. It's the biggest challenge I've ever had. I pretty much was raised up like a lot of you. I didn't have a lot, but I always said I wanted to give my children more than what I had. And I think me and my wife did that. We raised Nolan to love everyone, be kind to everyone, because it was just the right thing to do. As I got a lot of stuff going, but what I really want to say is, and like my wife said, if you know something, and you are really, if Nolan was really your best friend, or for the people who said that he was their friend, please come forward and tell us what you know. All we want to know is the truth. We're not blaming anyone. We just want to know the truth. Any parent want that. And also, the disrespect that's been coming toward my wife and my family, for any parent, no matter what race you are, they need time to grieve. A parent can't grieve when you have people attacking them, attacking their jobs, attacking their character, just attacking them, period. Like, where's the empathy at? We as Americans, this is a diverse country. Yep. Not no one race made this country. We all made this race, made this country. So we all need to come together. And like I said, if you know something, please come forward and just call our attorneys, give them information, and they'll take it from there. Just help us out, and not just us, but all these families. All these families need answers. Anyone with information on any one of these cases, please come forward, because losing a child is something that you got to deal with for the rest of your life. Thank you.
Thank you. And President Mario, I would just say the attacks, Christine.
Ain't enough for you. No.
Nah. I ain't gonna push no judgment. He going through emotions. I don't want people to. Yeah.
I don't speak your truth, so.
Nah, because men, dog. That's why I talk about emotions all the time when it come to men. We gotta leave them emotions at the door. I'm telling y'all, that's a big black man.
Yeah.
He look like he can do some work. He gonna probably win more than he lose. I just feel like it'll be more there. You disrespecting my wife, you disrespecting my son who's no longer here. Mm-hmm. That fuel, Dog, we get amped up about crazy stuff in America, and we can't. Yeah. We need more men. We got to have more men speaking up, man. I see what Penny said about the mom being the front of for sympathy, but we supposed to be at war at this point. We supposed to be wanting answers.
It's just, I can understand having the mom up there for sympathy and whatnot, but I will say this: those 3 cases that stand there right there, those 3 young men, the parents of the mothers of those 3 young men, are the only ones speaking forward. The other 2 young men that are up there, I don't know their family dynamic, or it could be a single parent household. I don't know what may have happened to their father, but those other 2 young men that the mothers are going to speak on, I don't see any male figures, family there speaking on their child's behalf, nor uncle, nor grandfather, nor brother. I don't see that, So it's
Dog, I used to go ham when I used to get a call from my daughter's school.
Oh yeah.
So I can just imagine. I was amped up about a school call.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and read. You can go ahead and read, Ray.
Penny said unpopular take, but we aren't all one race. I'm just saying. Richard put a check mark. Penny said united by trauma, not by culture.
Big facts.
Richard said, wouldn't be crazy if the phone deletions was a cover up by the police. This whole case.
Yeah.
Richard, you be coming with some things.
Oh yeah.
Welcome me and Paul Walker. Make sure you hit that like button while you're here. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on all notifications. So appreciate you coming in. And Miss Maddie said this is the first time I've heard him speak.
Yeah. So man, that was the end of tonight's town hall meeting number 2, man. I hope you guys really enjoyed. We're gonna try to keep bringing y'all as much information as possible when it comes to the Nolan Well. Our goal is to try to gather up the weekly content and bring it all at one time, just to have a full conversation, to hear your guys' thoughts and processes, how you feel about things. But I'm gonna say this, man, because we talk about it on No Middleman all the time. Men, we got to do better, dog. I can't even blame nobody no more but us. We got to do better, dog. Men got to do better, dog. We got women fighting racial battles, political battles, home front battles, child battles. Like this is crazy. Now we got a woman in Memphis that we covered, had to, take the life of somebody because she had a 20-year-old under her 13-year-old daughter bed. We got women out here taking these battles on, dog. Man, if you don't toughen up, dog, and stand on that podium, man, and tell people, man, I need answers for my son, dog. I need answers for my son. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say, dog. I'm telling you, if every conference you just got on the mic and said, hey, y'all, every day, it's getting rough. I need answers for my son. If y'all can't get those for me, I'm going to find a method and a way to get these answers for my son. I need answers for my son. I'm telling you, man. Man, we got to do better, dog. We talked about this. We did a whole series about the youth needs us. Not saying you got to be daddy to everybody, but man, golly, if you're going to be present in a woman's life, the least you can do is take the pedestal. Women talk about they want provision and protection. I don't know how you can feel protected when a nigga can't talk. That's my opinion, man. That silence hurts my soul, dog. That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart. That hurts my heart. Sco said, yeah, he needs to be saying more silence, and it's not the yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. If I gotta bury my child before me, dog, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. If I got to bury my child before me, I have nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose if I got to bury my child before me. If it ain't something medical, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose, dog. I got nothing to lose, man. We'll be To Kill a Mockingbird over here. Mississippi burning. Like, got nothing to lose, man. Nothing to lose, man. Appreciate you, Too Tight. He said, good show, big dog. Y'all did your thing. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dog. That get my fire burn. He said, I haven't heard one person say they were wrong except Rain and Plug. I haven't heard one person say they were wrong. Who was wrong?
And what?
And which one? Yeah, man. Hey, man, let's go, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they would be more at the forefront, putting their foot, put your foot on their neck. Do something.
He said in general.
No, Soulson said when he was wrong. I've admitted when I'm wrong. We all have.
I'm trying to see what he talking about, though.
Yeah, what you talking about, Bridget, in reference to what?
You know, you caught me in my middle of my emotional monologue. I had, like, for real, man. That just get me fired up, man.
I mean, his father is present, and obviously has been in his life. So why not be more in the face, in the forefront? Like
some people are present, not present.
Mm-hmm.
Like my pastor used to say in the South, everything that's sound ain't sound. Like just because you present don't mean you present, or you present and accounted for is what I need to know. Like, come on, y'all, we gotta walk him down, man. Walk him down. He said, "On my soul." I'm telling you, I know this go. Like, oh, like, yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Like, you will have to pull me out of edit home. They'll tell me to stay home. Hey, y'all gotta keep him home. He's too erratic. This is not gonna work out for this. Hey, I'm gonna be on. Pick up my phone. Hey, like, bro.
Today's day 27. Who y'all still ain't came up with nothing? What y'all doing?
Because I'm gonna tell you this: 100 calls not a lot when I'm watching 400 niggas look at YouTube. 400,000 are watching YouTube. We cheering about 100 calls coming in. There's millions of people watching Nancy Grace. Think about that. Put that in perspective, dog. They're happy about 100 calls when there's millions of people watching a clip. We got to start putting life into perspective, bro. It ain't working.
Yeah.
It ain't working. We shouldn't be going harder than you going. Bridget said, what made me say that is, I think you said, I never seen men, so.
Bridget, you need to come up on the panel.
Yeah. Go said somebody possibly took your son's life and you're quiet.
You too quiet,
yeah. Yeah, man. He got that CCL now too. Hey, I'm telling y'all, man. Allegedly for content purposes, man. We played this, but yeah, man. I don't know, man. That's my thing, man. For the men, man, we got to do better. I've been saying that since our first series. We got to save the youth. The youth needs us. Like we got to do better, dog. Like I don't even know how they can't eat at you watching your wife trying to hold her tears back, talking about like why you ain't speaking first. We ask questions later. You got to speak first.
Yeah.
Speak first, bro.
But they did. They put her at the forefront.
And like Rain said, the other people don't got a man. You the only man in that room, dog.
Yeah. Those other two mothers that stood up there. One was his mother and his sister, and I think the other one was just his mother and his grandmother, maybe.
Yeah, the grandmother was she did her thing, man. Her speech. Matter of fact, we're gonna play the grandmother speech because she did her thing, dog. The way the grandmother talked is how I feel a father should be talking about their child. Like that grand, you know how they say you got a praying grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that young man had. Because he no longer with us, unfortunately. But matter of fact, this don't even show.
It's about those cases too.
It don't even show. It don't even show it on here.
No, it doesn't. Okay. Mm.
Oh, he said, I think I'm just waiting to use it. Genetics matter against you. I'm tripping right now. Are you good, McDowell? Hey, you good, McDowell? I like the conversation, man. I appreciate what you bring to the conversation, Richard, always. Penny said the saying that the only one that will cry for you when you're gone is your mother is undefeated. Yeah. He said he needs to be the loudest in the room at all times right now.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'll be in there with all. I'll be every poster interview. I'm in a black hoodie, black pants, everything. I'm just looking different. Think about that nigga tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping. Like this, because y'all got to think about it. I know, they were talking about like, this is not easy, but they're traveling the world, man. They're traveling state to state. They're going from one conference to the next, dog. We're talking about grieving. How can you grieve properly when you on the stage every day?
You being a face every day, yeah.
All right, like
neither one of them has been able to grieve properly.
Yeah, you got to pick a battle, man. You got to pick a battle.
Yeah.
And right now it looks like mom's a little bit stronger than dad, and that's not how I want to fight.
No.
So I'm serious. All BS aside, man. Like,
can we tell who runs the household in that situation?
I don't even want to go that deep. I ain't gonna get personal with him. Everybody handle emotions different. I'm not gonna go there. That was Rain. I'm not going there.
I went there, y'all. My bad.
I'm just saying I need him to get it and get right.
Get right, yeah.
Get right.
Get some more fire up on him.
Yeah. Like for real.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got for us, Rain? You got a closer for us tonight?
I do. Make sure y'all tap in. I've been holding out on doing a little.
You got it sitting in there.
It's been sitting in there. I keep changing the date. I keep changing the time. Just giving a mother's perspective on these cases, or on especially Nolan Wells. But since these other cases have came across my timeline and have presented themselves, I might do another series based off that as well. I know we a lot of us content creators and news agencies have been talking about the facts and been talking about the underlying issues and us not getting any answers and whatnot. So just click your notifications, make sure they're on to all, because when I tend to get emotional a little bit when it comes to the children, because I'm a mother myself, so I'm trying to just muster that courage together to get up here and talk to y'all about it without getting too in my feelings. So y'all pray for me on that, because I'm gonna pray about it too. So I think that's why I'm kind of stalling, but yeah, just make sure y'all tap into my channel as well. Make sure y'all hit up the let me get the link to the Facebook page right quick. So they can tap in on Facebook.
I got Soft Rain channel on this already right there on the screen, guys. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with her, so y'all can catch that when she does the story from a mother's perspective. Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all catch her over there at Soft Rain at YouTube. And then on Sunday, she does do the weekly Radar with Rain, where she covers news. She pretty much does her hometown area and a lot of things that are going on. So y'all go check that out for sure. Yeah. You already put it in there.
I put the Facebook page in there too.
All right.
Facebook page. So we appreciate everybody that pulled up tonight too. The number stays steady, so we know we got some eyes out there. Even though if you didn't say anything in the chat, we seen you watching, and we appreciate you being here. We appreciate all our regulars that were in the chat: Classic, Rigid, Penny, Muriel, everybody. Too Tight, I-90. Y'all know who y'all are. If I leave somebody out, I'm sorry. But tonight we asked difficult questions, right? We examined the interviews, the public statements, and the evidence that has been presented so far that we have access to. But after all that discussion, one truth still remains. We have plenty of assumptions, but still not enough evidence. Nolan was more than just a headline or a trending topic. He was a son, a friend, and a young man whose family deserves clear answers. And we should continue asking questions. We should challenge inconsistencies, but suspicion is not proof, repetition is not verification, and a theory is not a fact. We can demand answers without creating them. We can seek accountability without rushing to the judgment. And we can support Nolan's family while allowing the evidence to lead us to the truth. Until more facts are known, let us remain open-minded, compassionate for the families, and careful with our conclusions as well. If you are catching this on the rewatch, we were here for a long time, but if you make it to the end on the rewatch, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you share this with somebody. So this has been Same Soil, Different Roots, Town Hall number 2. For Souls and myself, Soft Rain, y'all have a good night, and we appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Sometimes the loudest voices ain't the closest to the truth. Let's talk about it. Everybody got a theory, everybody got a side. Timeline getting longer while the answers try to hide. Every interview drops, everybody hit play, but another piece of the puzzle still dripped away. Pressure on the family, pressure on the town. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody looking down. Facts don't move faster just because we want them to. Truth don't change colors when the spotlight's on you. Screens full of opinions, comments full of heat, but evidence walks slower than emotions in the street. Everybody chasing justice, everybody saying wait, but assumptions build a verdict before we know the fate. Questions remain, still looking through the smoke and the pain. Everybody talking like they know the whole thing, but the truth don't answer every time the phone rings. Questions remain, we searching through the storm and the rain. If we're really after justice, let the evidence lead, cause assumptions ain't the same as what we actually see. Yeah, one report says this, another says that. Everybody drawing lines from a photograph. Voices getting louder, certainty grows, but certainty ain't proof. Every investigator knows. Family wants closure, community wants peace. Everybody hoping one day all the questions cease. Until that day comes, let's keep our balance right. Facts over feelings when we're walking through the night. Truth don't need favorites, truth don't pick teams. Sometimes what we believe ain't the way it really seems, yeah. If the evidence changes, then our minds should too. The goal ain't to be right, the goal is finding what's true. No victory in division, no profit in the pain. Let's keep asking honest questions until the answers have a name. Questions remain, but we're still standing in the rain, searching every detail, every witness, every clue. Knowing every honest question brings us closer to the truth. The questions remain, we won't let assumptions reign until the facts come together. We'll keep the conversation real and let the evidence speak for itself. Same soil, yeah, different roots, one community.
Deep-rooted conversations, real talk, real roots, real us, souls. Soft rain, no middleman between the truth. I can see it in your eyes, you got it. Pain got your heart moving cautious. Different worlds but the same kind of scars here. Different roads but somehow we still crossed it. Mad cause the world never listened right. Mad cause your truth always turned